Welcome to another DragonLance Saga gaming episode. Today we are playing a one-shot called Time for Truth. And this is an interlude in our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen actual play. It is Bakukul for... It sounds so funny. Flora Green, the 31st. My name is Adam, and I would like to take a moment and thank the DL Saga members and invite you to consider becoming a member by visiting the link in the description below. You can even pick up Dragonlance game materials using my affiliate links. So, we are bringing back Arjan. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm stoked for this. So we are picking up right where we left off. So, for the sake of everyone's memory, last time with Arjan Ghaleson, the heroes fought their way into the Temple of Paladine in the city of lost names called Anyari, and discovered an altar bearing the symbol of the god Paladine within the chancel. As he approached the altar, the dragon sculptures surrounding it gave Arjan Ghaleson the distinct impression that they were watching him. As Arjan approached the altar, a column of dim light rose from it, and he took the knight Xanas Sarlamir's distinct head of a rusty spear, all that remained of the once mighty Dragonlance, and gently laid it on top of the altar. The lance shone with a silvery glow. The rust covering the lance bubbled and leaked a dark liquid that flowed away from the altar and disappeared. And at the same time, the spear lengthened, growing into a whole newly forged pike-length dragonlance. The silver glow enveloped Arjan, and the world he knew fell away. You find yourself coming to from unconsciousness. You open your eyes and look around, and it seems like your eyes must be still closed, for everything is so dim and shrouded in this thick, misty smoke all around you. As you start to focus your eyes, trying to see depth and get a sense of where you are, the roaring sound of a river off to your right just floods your senses. Even as you sort of push yourself off the ground, sitting up and then coming to a standing position, looking around, you're doing everything you can to just find a sense of place from where you are. You seem somewhere that's completely absent of memory and even of time from anything you've ever experienced before. In the distance, you're starting to make out on your left a massive gate which ascends through the mist, and so you can almost see just the top of what appears to be this marble columned gate with this sort of swirling light within it. I say light only because it's slightly set off from the depth of the mist surrounding it. And that's when you start to notice a long, almost eternally long column stretching from that gate back of just humanoid figures, souls approaching this gate. And you are separate between this massive roaring river, which you cannot see, and this massive line leading to a gate, which seems further than you could walk in a couple days of travel. What do you do?
And this river is blocking my path towards the gate, right?
No, so the river sound is on your right. The gate is up on your upper left.
Okay. Is there like, in this column of people just kind of stretches out before me, right?
Yeah, it's really, really far away, and you can barely see the makeup of their bodies and stuff. I mean, it's through the mist and everything.
Okay. In that case, let's go for the closest sounding object, which is the river. To my right.
Can I get a perception check, please?
Absolutely. Uh, 16.
Nice. So as you start to move toward this raging just sound of flowing water, it must be an immense river. It doesn't quite sound like a waterfall or anything like that, but it is moving rapidly. As you start to slowly approach it, you notice a sort of a shape, a form coming from the left. As it's moving toward you, you're starting to see a sort of embankment to this river. And this sort of mumble sound emanates through the din of the river itself, reaching your ears, coming from the same location as this sort of amorphous shape, which, as you sort of turn to examine it, is taking more solid shape. What do you want to do in this moment?
Hello. Where am I?
You start to hear like like some form of communication is trying to be made, but you can't quite make it out. What languages are you aware of?
Common and Solamnic.
Okay. So you start to get hints of Solamnic, but it would be very similar to the difference between Old English, as in like, Shakespearean English versus American. And so it's slightly off, but you can start picking up words like you don't belong here, what's brought you this far. And then the figure steps through the nearest layer of mist, and it looks like this very old man with this very old long mustache. His hair is sort of pulled back. So you just see sort of straggly bits coming out the side. He's wearing these nice sort of ancient-looking robes that any wealthy lord might wear, for example. But time has not done them justice. They do seem very sort of tattered and aged, as is this gentleman's skin. As he slowly approaches you, he's sort of like almost limping, but not quite. Like there's been some old injury he's sort of lived with for seemingly time immemorial, is the appearance of him. The smell of the soil beneath your feet finally starts hitting you, and you're getting this very sort of decaying vegetative smell. I don't know if you've ever been around like compost or anything. It's just like sort of deep, rich, sort of foresty soil. And like all the sensations are starting to flood you. The ground beneath your feet now feels firm and strong, even though it's still shrouded in mist. As this gentleman sort of limps toward you, he stops about 6-8 feet away from you. Just, it's remarkable. It's quite remarkable. You look like one of us. What brought you here, son?
One of you. I went to lay the lance at the altar, and suddenly I was enveloped in light. And now I'm here.
This dawning look of understanding suddenly passes over his face. Oh, yes, it must be his will. Well, my son, you see, I am your ancient ancestor, Hiras Ghaleson, former first son of Habakkuk, back, what you would refer to as the Age of Might, I think. Yes.
The man that slew 3 giants.
You've heard of me. I wasn't aware the natural world cared about history anymore. It seems
families pass on stories of their lineage from adult to child. Is that not something your people did?
They certainly did, but this was before many things happened, like the Third Dragon War, for example. I was not sure that Krynn remained the same, or its people.
There's been 3 of them?
Well, with whom a Dragonbane was the third.
That was the only one I was ever told about.
Oh, yes. Time goes far, far back. This river that you cannot quite make out is the personification of that time. It is the river of time.
So don't drink from it. Okay.
I would not recommend getting anywhere near it, for you could easily fall in and lose yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Inches a little further away from the river.
Yeah, you suddenly realize like sweat pinpricks on your the pores on your skin just sort of like comes right out as you realize like, oh wow, this could be bad. Maybe I should take a step back.
Taking a step. Whose will did you mean though?
Oh, well, the gods will, my son. The gods will. It is they who, well, decide the fates of men. It seems for some reason you were brought here. It must be the gods' will that you're here, for you are alive, are you not?
Last time I checked.
The way I see you is, I can see the lifeblood pumping through your veins. I can see the beating of your heart echoing out from your body, creating ripples. It won't be long before that line of souls starts to realize it as well.
Is that a bad thing?
It very well could be. They could try to take your body from you, leave you stranded here outside of the Gate of Souls.
Check to see if I still have my axe.
Yeah, everything with you seems, or everything that you had before you placed the lance on the table seems to be in its proper location,
Okay.
though for some reason you can't make any sense of it. He sort of beckons you, walk with me, my son.
All right, I'll walk with him.
Are you a God-fearing man?
I didn't used to be. Now I'm not so sure.
What do you mean by that? In your age, are the gods not ever present in your life?
I was taught that when the great King Ishtar betrayed the trust of the dragons and the gods, they all turned their backs on humanity. And they left. And ever since then, they've never so much as deigned to even touch touch my world.
As you're actually explaining that brief moment, or that brief history, you're starting to see the smoke itself in between you and the River of Time coalesce into almost effigies of that tale of the king priest of Istar calling out and demanding Paladine kneel to him, seeing the mountain rush down through the skies and crush into Istar itself, sundering the land and creating the blood sea of Istar. The images are not solid and they're not absolute, but you're getting hints of those as you describe it. He sort of turns back to you, limping forward. That is very nearly right. I wasn't talking to you. Phone. Jeez Louise. How do I turn that off? Siri is an assistant. Nope. So as you're walking, he sort of turns. That is very nearly accurate, my son. Very nearly. You see, the truth is, it was the hubris in the king priest that drove him to evil acts, his desire to upset the balance. You see, in my experience, it is not as important which god you follow, but in your time, to maintain balance of the gods. That is what is important. And for some reason, it was deemed that you see this world between worlds, that you experience something of this river of time yourself in order to attain your own destiny. And I cannot help but think that it is wrapped up in both the events of your time and your fledgling belief in the gods themselves. For they did not leave man, it was man who left them.
Father always prayed to Paladine. He always said Paladine would return one day and seek to right the wrongs that man and beast had wrought. The great justice.
He sounds like a wise man. Why didn't you follow those ideals?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it in everyday life. I didn't see it when I was fighting ogres as a mercenary. I didn't see any god's benevolence anywhere. All I saw was suffering and the madness of other people.
I wonder if it's a fault of perception. For when I look across a glade and I see animals running through it, and I see a great cat leap onto an elk, I see Chislev, the mother of nature, in action. When I see a storm raging in the open sea and fishermen throwing gifts into it, I see Zeboim, the evil goddess, doing her work. When I look at the storms in the sky raging, I can't help but think of our father Paladine. Everything that exists is a reflection of the gods' engagement with your world. It's just whether or not you accept it for the danger you speak of. And as he's sort of talking about this, those shapes or forms are actually manifesting in the smoke still, and you're sort of seeing visual representations of what he's seeing as you guys are walking up this river. For you do hear it sort of flowing away from you. Yes, even your own ancestors, your father, it sounds like, still actively worshipped Paladine, which, congratulations to him, in an age of despair. That violence you speak of, man fighting man, is also a manifestation of the gods. Only the goddess of evil, the queen of darkness, she wants men to turn their souls against each other. And I believe she has returned to your world.
She has. She's risen an army of these things. They're like lizardmen, but they have wings, and they have these odd abilities. I wouldn't have called them dragonkin had I not seen a dragon myself. But it almost makes me think that they are dragonkin of some kind, but they walk on two legs. They carry themselves as men do. And she's made armies of these things. They bear her crest. When I first saw it, I thought it was just another sign of madness, but madness alone cannot explain these creatures when you fight them face to face.
Indeed. There are many aberrations created out of desire for power and desperation for conquest. I believe this is what she has crafted, the most vile of schemes. Unfortunately, I cannot give you any information about your age, as I am not a part of it. I am summoned here by He on high, I believe, to speak with you and hopefully direct you to your true destiny, to be a voice for the gods in the time that they need a voice, to represent and fight on their behalf in a time when most believe they are not here at all, and the forces of the Queen of Darkness are near insurmountable. Perhaps visiting one of your ancestors would be of assistance, giving you a little perspective. You see, not all of your ancestors followed gods of neutrality or good. In fact, one of them was a member of a cult, the god of disease, Morgian. His name was Samuel Ghaleson, and I believe this is where you are meant to meet him. And this old man sort of stops, takes a couple steps back. You start hearing rumbling instantly before you feel the rumbling beneath you. Can I get a dexterity check?
Oh boy. That's a 2?
Is that a natural 1?
Yes. Really surprised. Was not expecting this.
Very appropriate. So you're standing there, you feel the shaking of the ground, and the land drops out from underneath you. A landslide just falls right into the river of time, and you find yourself swirling in the open waters. You no longer see a shore. You're inhaling the water as you're trying to gasp and break your head above the water, and you just can't seem to be able to do it until everything goes black once again. You waken to bright light shining down on you, and your eyes open blurry from this massive light. You cough up a little, but there's no water there. Your entire body is completely dry, but you're laying in what appears to be, as your eyes start focusing, a beautiful street lined with buildings and children laughing in the distance and people walking by. You see women dressed very nicely, sort of stopping, looking down at you. Pardon me, sir, are you all right?
Yeah, I just fell into a river.
A river? How very funny. It looks like you might have fallen in a fountain. There are no rivers in our direct area, for you are in Onyari. Nothing bad happens here.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, you poor thing. Your hearing must be going. I said you are in Onyari, the city without sin, the king priest's heaven manifest on Krynn.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I must have drank too much.
Oh, too much consumption is a sin. I hope you realize you wouldn't want the thought searchers to find you out. You know there is orders of manifest virtue for everyone on behalf of the king priest. Always think happy thoughts, good thoughts, never the evil ones. They will find you and they will punish you.
Of course. Thank you for your warning. I appreciate it. I'm just new here.
Well, I'm not sure how you got here, as we are floating in the northern portion of Solamnia at the moment.
I got a ride. It's a long story.
Okay. Well, if you're all right, have a good day to you.
You too, man.
May Istar's blessing shine upon thee.
Oh, yeah, Istar's blessing on you too.
And may the king priest look kindly upon all your endeavors.
And you as well, ma'am. Thank you.
And Paladine bless your way.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. You're just like afraid she's going to say one more thing. Like, I get all the blessings. I get it. Okay.
No, it's more like he's having a hard time. Like he's having a hard time actually saying the dude's name.
Okay. So, you find yourself in the middle of a bustling city. It's beautiful. You have vegetation, trees flowing out all around you. Everyone seems to be in the happiest of happy moods. Some people are humming down the street, others are whistling. You can hear actual orchestral music coming from the distance. You don't recognize where you are anywhere in the city of lost names, Onyari, but you certainly seem to be here if she's telling the truth.
Demlin, where's that cave? That entrance where Demlin was at. I try to figure out where northeast is first.
Yeah.
And then I look in that direction where I could have sworn Demlin was at.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
8.
Yeah, you're doing your best to place without any sort of stars or anything like that. I mean, you're not even sure where the sun is in relation to the time of day at this point. You do notice that there is this massive central spire that was present last time you were here in the future, but it's pristine and everything is put together. So the entire city just looks so different that you're not really sure exactly where you are.
Okay. Do I remember where the Temple of Paladine was?
You know it was north of the massive central spire, but you're not entirely the threshold of the heavens. But you're not sure if you're south of that, east or west, or north of it at this moment.
Okay. I'll start making my way towards the central tower, and then like any passersby, I'll ask them where the Temple of Paladine would be.
Okay. You quickly get directions, and you were just happening to be walking the opposite way, so you stop, turn around, and you start heading toward the Temple of Paladine. Is that what you do?
Yep.
Okay. As you're walking, you notice out of the corner of your eye this person sort of standing in an alley between buildings, sort of watching you. And as soon as you sort of acknowledge that they're there, they sort of like move backward into the shadow cast by the bright sun in this narrow alley and sort of disappear from view.
Sunshine, rainbow, happy kids. Sunshine, rainbows, happy kids. Just trying to keep my thoughts clear of any negative things. Let's not think about the River of Time. Let's not think about the weird meeting with an ancestor. No. We got to think about happy thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. So you start to approach the Temple of Paladine, and it looks completely different from your memory. It's glorious. There's silver lining around this massive marble structure as it sort of domes up. You see birds sort of flittering by, almost singing hallelujah as they move around. Light seems to be just emanating out of the temple itself rather than down on it, and it's full daylight. I mean, this seems like clearly a very holy place, and it is just supremely beautiful. It's not surrounded by water like it was before. It's not ruined. You do see a nice grove surrounding it like there was before, but it's actually encircling the entirety of the perimeter of this massive, beautiful temple.
And I'm assuming it's like well guarded, well kept, and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a nice change, I think. Just out of complete and utter curiosity, I want to see if we can get in. Well, I want to see if I can get in and just kind of see if the layout inside matches with what I remember from the temple where I'm from.
Yeah. So as you start to approach the grove, it goes up on a bit of a rise and then it dips back down into a nice green, grass carpeted landscape. You do see some sort of stone pathways. Some of them meander around to other statues representing other gods of good around the grounds itself. But as you get up to the sort of the tree line, as it were, you see movement without, like from within.
Hang on. Before we get there, you said there were statues of like all the other gods of good.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would recognize. Do any of them have like a placard of like Kislev? Like one of them's that's like a placard, helpful placard that says, "Oh, this is Kislev."
They're in the inside grounds past the perimeter of
Okay.
trees. You just saw through that.
Oh, okay.
Those pristine grounds.
Okay.
You would notice that they would have symbols once you get there, but there's not like a name printed on it or anything like that.
Wish you were here, Ulrich. You'd at least point me in the right direction. All right, we'll continue inside then.
So as you get to that tree line, you see movement and you sort of look up and a hand comes down and like sort of brings an apple from one of the limbs of the trees. And the hand is actually this massive tree branch itself, which leads up to a treant that you had seen before, but this one seems to be quite pleasant. Good day to you.
Good day to you too.
It has an apple in its hand toward you.
Oh. Thank you.
It just sort of bows its head a little bit, and you see it just go up and start pruning branches on some of the trees. Then you notice in here, you have your traditional style of trees, but a lot of them are also fruit bearing, and it looks like there's so much ripe, rich fruit here that it could sustain easily a quarter of this city in and of itself. And coming from a time where you did, where there was famine and disease, and this is like obscenely luxuriant.
Priest King Istar.
King Priest.
Sacrifice. Yeah. King Priest and Istar sacrificed all of this. For what?
You enter the grounds, and you see the entrance of the temple. You see those sort of benches around these statues that are sort of representing the different gods, the 7 gods of good. You don't see any neutrality gods here.
Okay.
As you start to enter the temple, your memory is flooding back. You're getting this sort of memory vision image of the waterlogged, broken down temple juxtaposed with the reality in front of your face, which is pristine. And you see monks with little bald spots shaved into their heads, wearing these robes and little pyramid triangle necklaces, holy symbols, as they walk around and sort of greet each other and talk. You see them filling up cisterns, and there's plants all around. Some of them are watering plants and tending them. People are sweeping and sort of wiping up any dust that might manifest, but you can't ever imagine dust manifesting in this glorious of a place. Someone near the far end sort of stops, like lifts their head up, turns around to you, and just slowly walks toward you. It looks like it's an elf of some sort. pristine ivory skin, dark black hair. Its eyes are sort of a violet color. The hands are sort of wrapped into the robes as it approaches you. You're not even really sure of gender at this point. It's just this sort of beautiful figure of this sort of sylvan being. It opens its mouth a little bit, but it doesn't seem to form the words that you hear. It just sort of opens and speaks at the same time. May I help you, son?
I'm just a little lost, I suppose. I'm new in town.
There can be no better place to come when one is lost than the Temple of Paladine, for that is where you are.
Yeah, I hoped I would come here, and at the same time I'm kind of bewildered that I am.
The God calls to us all in our hearts, and we all must find our way to him. Yours is a little more literal in this particular case. What do you think brought you here?
I needed a place to orient myself, and I guess I just needed to know. They said I needed to be a voice for the gods.
Who is they?
One of my ancestors. It's a long story.
Interesting. I speak with my ancestors through prayer, and by Paladine's will. Perhaps you do the same. Have you ever followed Paladine's teachings before?
No, not really. But I feel like I have to now.
You should never feel obligated to turn to the gods. They are here whether we want them or need them. They are here looking after us. It is not a duty. It is a gift. You seem to have given a gift. Cherish that. Do you need somewhere to stay, to sleep, to eat?
Well, your treant friend helped me with that.
Oh.
I might, but I need to take a look around first.
Very well. We are always here. Anyari is always here. May Paladine watch your path.
Thank you. You as well.
Sort of bows down, turns around and walks back to whatever they were doing before.
Where's that altar?
It's in the cistern at the far end, so you can cross. It's basically where that person was walking from, just not from within it.
Okay.
You walk over to the sort of steps that lead up to the cistern, and while you see people in there, a couple of people are lighting candles. They look like priests of some sort. They don't really tell you shouldn't be here, but you kind of get the feeling that you don't really belong here. These are clearly people devoted to this faith, caring for this temple, and you're clearly an outsider.
Don't need to tell me.
But they're polite. They're not trying to kick you out or anything. So you walk in and you see the room lined exactly as it was before, only pristine. And you see the altar standing in front of you exactly like it was before, emanating light as if you had just put the Dragonlance upon it.
I'm going to take a wild guess, but the Dragonlance is not there.
Correct. It is not.
Okay. I'm also going to take a wild guess that me walking up to it and putting my hand on it isn't going to take me back to where I'm supposed to be. So let's find out.
Okay.
Hopefully they don't get offended that I touch the altar.
Yeah. So you walk up to the altar and you begin putting your hand down on it, and you immediately feel the attention of eyes all around you, stopping what they're doing and just watching you. And as you place your hand on the altar, it feels like cold stone. It's still emanating divine light somehow, and the light is leaking through your fingers as your hand covers a palm-size amount of that light of the altar. And it's just this interesting play of light, and you almost feel like these draconic statues have turned and like looked down upon you, but nothing other than that happens. I mean, you feel a presence that you can't really place. It is familiar to when the Dragonlance remolded itself, but there's something different this time. Almost,
Uh,
almost as if it's not as strong, not as potent.
bow my head and just kind of whisper to myself, okay, you brought me here. Show me what I need to see. And then take my hand off of it.
Okay. As you remove your hand, you hear a bit of a scuffle near the entrance of the temple. You turn around and you see that same figure that had went down the alley after you noticed it,
Mm-hmm.
standing in the doorway, demanding entry. And these priests are actually standing in this person's way. You can't really get out any details about facial features or anything about humanoid size, average humanoid size. But it's sort of wearing a cloak, and it's got these red ribbons around the inner lining of the cloak itself. And they're stopping this person, and there's some sort of like under breath discussion going on.
They're wearing red robes?
This person has red lining on the robe.
Oh, red linings. I think I made a boo-boo. Okay, I guess, well, touching it didn't take me back, and the Dragonlance isn't here, so I asked him to show me what he needed to show me, so back out the way I came then, if they'll let me.
Yeah, as you start to walk forward, this person pulls back the cloak. You see this average-looking young human woman. She sort of looks at you like, I've been sent to collect you. I can't believe it's actually true. You look exactly like him. I don't even know how he knew you were coming, but he knew, and you're here. Please, come with me. I'm not allowed in the temple.
Sure. Can I get your name?
Oh, absolutely, you can. Once I find out if you truly are who you say you, or who I'm told you are.
All right, I'm Arjan Ghaleson.
I'm going to need confirmation from my source first. Please follow me.
Okay. All right.
I need you to concentrate on thinking about good thoughts, the might of the king priest, his glory, and his holiness. We're going to be passing some dangerous locations that if you have any negative thoughts, you might be pulled away. And we need you in this time desperately.
Okay, imagine the might and majesty of a person I've never met. This is going to be great.
Imagine a god on earth, for that's how he sees himself.
I can do that.
Okay, so you guys start walking through the city, and she's sort of pulling you into back alleys. You're going around buildings. There's multiple levels, what you didn't notice before. Some of them go deep down into sort of like water channels. Ultimately, you guys are sort of paralleling those, and it gets to a point where she wants you to go deep into a sort of a dark, precarious-looking tunnel.
Torch?
She's like, no one can know that we're in here. Don't worry. I'll tell you where to go once we're in there. But get in there quick.
All right. I don't like walking in the dark.
So you step into the darkness. You actually hear a little of like water, like a very small layer of water at the base of this tunnel. This little catacomb area must have been cordoned off or dammed off or something and used sparingly. As you guys enter in, she's sort of talking to you. All right, 12 steps, 9 steps, 2 more steps, stop, turn right, feel the wall, move forward. And she sort of guides you. You hit this sort of metal grate, and you hear her make some sort of like a mechanical sound against the wall, like a clicking sound. And the gate sort of lifts up. You sort of duck underneath it. You continue going in this wild maze of left and right, and the water starts to get a little thicker in areas and a little more sparse in others. And you ultimately open up into what clearly feels like a vast chamber. And she ignites a little torch of her own, which illuminates this sort of receiving area, almost like a mudroom of a home or something. You see cloaks on the walls. She takes hers off and puts it up there. We're part of the resistance against the king priest. The reality is he is not holy and he is not good. He is quite evil. And what's to come, is a genocide, and we need to stop it. That's why you were brought here. At least that's what I'm told. Please, come in this room, and if it's true, you're going to be meeting, well, maybe an old friend, or maybe someone that is destined to be a friend. Well, in any case, please have a seat in here and wait.
All right.
She seems kind of excited. There's a little bit of electricity, in the way that she's talking with you, a little bit of excitement, and you're getting a bit of a sense of anxiety because, one, you're not 100% sure you could find your way back out of this maze that you just came through. And two, you have no idea who this person is that apparently knew you were going to come here when you yourself didn't know you were going to be here.
Yeah.
So
Oh
you're,
boy.
you're sitting there for a little while, about, if you could put time to it in this moment, about 10 minutes. In the room with you are about 3 candles that are slowly burning down to their roots. The light sort of is reflecting really, really badly, creating all sorts of shadows and imagery. You're getting flashbacks of this weird misty realm you were just in, when the feeling of the room instantly changes and you feel this massive form just sort of walk into the room, almost with an air of authority that is nothing that you've experienced before. Like, this is a person in command of themselves and the moment. It walks in, they're dressed in sort of scraps of splint mail. This man has fully bearded, and there's something in his eyes that looks very familiar to you, but his visage does not at all. And he sort of walks up. Stand up, boy.
I do so.
Now, he's saying boy. You can't tell his age. You don't know if he's older than you or how much older than he is, if he is, in this darkness. But just the gravel in his voice, the sort of presence that he's projecting, it does seem like he is older. Is it true? Are you Arjan?
I am. I hate to say it, I come from the future.
I can't believe it myself, but that's what I've been told. I had a dream.
Who keeps telling people these things?
I just had a dream, and
Oh.
you were here, and here you are. And I am awake, am I not?
I am, so you probably are.
This is amazing. My name is Samael Ghaleson. I believe I'm
The man that slew
your ancestor.
20 ogres by himself.
That's not exactly true. If that's what they're saying in the future, I'll take it. The truth is I was badly wounded and almost died.
It's an honor to meet you. That would make you my... Okay, I can't count greats that high.
It's a lot of greats.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in this time would consider me great, not with my history. But I wonder why you're here.
I met another one of my ancestors that said that this is likely Paladine's will. And I'm supposed to see something here. And I'm supposed to... Well, if everything goes right, I'm assuming, I'm supposed to act as a voice for the gods in my time.
What time do you come from?
I try to give him a rough estimate of how far into the future I come from, because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, his eyes start to bulge as you do your best to explain it. Give me a history check. Do you have history?
I can roll it. That's a 16.
Okay, so you know the year that you were born in and stuff.
Okay.
So you tell, I think it's like 351 or something like that, or 352. And he's just like, Alt Catacleus, what does that mean?
Okay. I'm going to take a long story short. So the king priest Ishtar, like, disrespects the gods and ends up, and it turns out that this city was built on the bones of dragons. So the dragons come and wreck the place, and that's kind of what kicks off. Well, and then a guy named Lord Soth kills a good dragon with a dragon lance, and that's generally, from what I understand, what kicks off a lot of things. This whole city goes down, hits the ground, sunders the land, and the god. Well, I was told the gods leave us, but I was also told that it's men that left the gods. So it could be both.
As a former follower of Morgian, I can assure you the gods never leave. And any deals you make with them, they will hold you to account for them. I've had to do things that I'm not proud of. But the King Priest of Istar and his divine hammer liberated me from my evil ways. Years of slavery is truly what it was. After those many years, I joined the divine hammer myself. I figured, why not just trade one god in for another? After all, the King Priest is just the voice of Paladine, is he not? And then I quickly discovered he is not. I'm not familiar with this Soth you speak of, but I do know the King Priest, not personally. And it is fortuitous that you arrive here on this night, because on this night, I am going to assassinate a general in the Divine Hammer, and you are going to help me do it.
Yeah, let me just check my schedule here. I'm open.
Sense of humor about dealing so dark. We are definitely related.
I'm a mercenary. It comes with the territory.
Do you have any qualms with murder?
If I did, I left them behind a long time ago. I know I'm supposed to be worshiping Paladine, and Paladine kind of frowns on that, but
well,
I'm pretty sure he's okay with it, so long as we're doing it for the cause of good. Probably.
The cause of good.
I don't have a direct line to him.
Well, if the King Priest speaks for good, then I am definitely not following good. And our spies have told us that the Knight of Solamnia, Xanas Sarlamir, is to be arriving here in the morning to make demands on the dragons that have discovered the truth about...
That's the guy that becomes Lord Soth, I think.
Yeah, just so you know, that's not.
Well, okay.
He ended up like serving Lord Soth in his death when Lord Soth took the Cataclysm fire that you guys went into the catacombs of the
castle. It was the okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was one of the guys we fought as a ghost or a specter. Or Ulrich had like this fancy word for the guy. He was undead, and he was not altogether there.
Wow.
He was kind of half here, half not.
That's kind of messed up.
That's what I said.
Well, in any case, he's very real in our time, and he's going to be making a demand on the gold dragon Caravarix, who has recently discovered that the King Priest is powering this city without sin that we reside upon with the with the innate magical energy of the dead dragons whose graveyard was built in the base of this wretched city. This sickly, sweet, vile, wretched city of good.
We fought some of their ghosts when we came here. Well, we came here in my time, which for you hasn't happened. We ran into some of the dragon ghosts.
Do you know if we succeeded?
I know an awful lot of people die. That's all I know.
That would be an acceptable outcome if we succeed in stopping the King Priest. Look,
all right.
Our spies tell us that Xanas Sarlamir is going to be confronting Caravarix. We need to stop the General of the Divine Hammer, because without him, it's going to cast mass disarray in the Divine Hammer order. They will not be able to respond on their defense. And we will ride into battle on the backs of dragons and fight the Knight of Solamnia and stop him so that this king priest and this vile city is destroyed. What do you say to that?
Count me in.
I think you should probably get some sleep while you can. We have a couple hours until nightfall. I will have someone bring some food for you. Do you need any weapons or equipment? You look pretty well put together.
I don't know. This chainmail's on its last legs.
I could get you some new armor. Is there something you're looking for specifically?
If we're going into battle, the heavier the better.
Would you be able to wear plate mail?
Yes, I can wear plate mail.
Very good. I have some blackened divine hammer plate mail that might come in might be of ironic use in this particular case. I'll be donning a set myself.
That sounds like the perfect disguise to me.
All right, so you food is brought to you. Nothing exorbitant, just a nice sort of military ration size amount of food. And where you were sort of sitting waiting is basically a little padded little cot sort of set up. And that's where they said you can get some sleep if you want. The armor is brought in, so if you want to equip yourself with plate mail, it's just regular plate mail, but it does have the divine hammer symbol like etched into the chest. It looks like it was probably once beautiful. It's seen some battle, hasn't really been repaired, but it's completely all blackened at this moment. You sort of rub your thumb across and it looks like some sort of like oily substance that's sort of dulling it.
Okay. Does it at least feel sturdy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's
all right, cool.
It's effective.
This'll do. And put that on.
Okay. As you're doing that and you have time to rest and stuff, you can hear sort of like dull echoes of sound coming from further in these catacombs that you sort of find yourself. And then if there's nothing you're going to do in the time between now and then,
just rest up and get ready for hell, I guess.
Yeah. You see your ancestor, as it were, walk in, Samael, and he just sort of stands there. You look good in that.
I don't know if I like the idea of looking good in the uniform of the enemy, but I'll take it.
Well, the Divine Hammer didn't start as the enemy. It just ended that way. So maybe we can end it tonight for good. He sort of motions you to go with him. Everything is dark down here. The very little amount of light, even the torches sort of shine out. Everything is casting deep, dramatic shadows, and so it just sort of makes it even harder to see in some cases. But you sort of walk what you can only imagine is back the way you came before he puts the torch out, before you guys get to the open air. And you didn't really realize how stifling the air was down here until you start getting a whiff of fresh, clean air.
Oh,
and
goodness.
It's almost like you can taste the clean air. It's that's how bad it was, and you hope you never have to go back into that hell again.
Yeah.
As you sort of peek your head out and just sort of take a gulp of fresh air, he looks at you and he sort of does this sort of signal. Now look, we're going to be heading over to the residence of the General of the Divine Hammer. There are guards everywhere, so we're going to be using these catacombs, staying in these gullies in order to work our way there, and we have to be quiet. I know your armor is blackened, but it still makes sound, so do your best to stop any weapons from clanging against it, or when you walk and move around, listen to the exterior sound of the city and move with the sound instead of in the silence. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Let's do this. And let's do this. So you guys are represented down here in the mid right-hand side. Yep. Let me adjust this opacity. And if I have to do any rolls.
I cannot move my token, just FYI.
Oh, yeah. Let me fix that real quick. You don't need to use your character, do you? Come on. It's overrated. All right,
There we
does that
go.
work? Okay.
Yep, that works.
All right, so it's nighttime in this massive city. You guys are in this sort of gully. You're about 20 feet down. You can see in front of you and above you, represented by this little wooden walkway here, that some of these gullies have walkways. He tells you that we're actually probably going to be using stairs once we move around, but we have to be silent. So let's get some stealth checks while we're down here.
All right, I will be using my inspiration on this, so I believe I get to roll for advantage. Okay. Wow. It was a 6 and a 6. There is. Man.
You're not very quiet. Fortunate for you, the city itself is not that quiet either. But as you're moving, he sort of stops. He's like, shh, you're moving too loudly. Imagine yourself as a cloud, all right? I need you to be a cloud. Can you be a cloud?
I can be a cloud.
I can be a cloud. I swear I'm a cloud. All right, let me look at my stats here real quick. Why? Okay. So as you guys are moving forward, oh, sorry, I moved you.
Me.
He moves forward. He sort of motions you to come south with him. You can hear footsteps up above. It doesn't seem like these guards have heard you, even though you did pretty bad on your roll.
Yeah.
They seem to be occupied doing whatever it is that they normally are doing, which is just sort of walking around. I mean, in your position, you can't really see them at all.
I'm a cloud.
So he gets to these stairs here and he like looks over to you. He's like, okay, look, there's a guard right up here to our 1 o'clock, and there's a guard down to our 7 o'clock. Now, I am going to take the 7 o'clock. You take the guard right at the top. You got this?
Yes.
Try to be as quiet as possible. If we can get past these two, we might have a chance of getting into that building before they notice us. But if these two call out, we're screwed. So I'm going to need you to be a cloud, okay?
Okay, I will be a cloud.
Okay. So let's get us on initiative. Just to be here. I feel like it's been forever since I've done this, but it was just a couple weeks ago. Where's initiative?
Should be right next to your armor class, unless you're looking at Roll20, in which case it would be. No, initiative should be right next to your armor class, right above your hit points.
This is insane. This does not have initiative on it. How is that possible?
That's weird. Well, initiative is typically a dexterity check, so.
Yeah. So 9, 10. Okay, so you're going to go first. Now, they're not aware of us yet, and it depends on your stealth check on whether they're going to become aware of us as you're moving up. So roll dexterity, and let's see what happens here.
Dexterity. Okay,
I'm sorry, your stealth.
Stealth. Okay.
Be a cloud.
Okay. Be a cloud. Be a cloud. 14?
Nice. That's a really good roll. All right. So you can move up. This guard does not seem to notice you at all as you move up.
Okay.
What do you want to do on your turn?
We're gonna try and kill him. So, battle axe to the neck.
Just run up. All right, roll to hit.
Rolling to hit. Hang on. Where's? Oh, that's my actions. Ha ha ha. Okay. I'm going to precision strike that. Where is? Oh, I have to. Okay, it's one of those weird ones. Okay. Does a 22 hit him?
Yes, 22 does hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you cut into him What's the damage?
6.
Ah.
Will I get my second attack?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, he's completely shocked. You like just run up, cut it.
Wait.
Oh, dude.
I would get. Sorry, if he's completely unawares, then that's technically advantage. So it'd be a crit. Technically.
Ooh, that went from a 1 to a 20.
Yeah. So that's
nice spread there. So you pull the axe out. He's just like shocked, looks around. Blood starts spurting out. He just brings his hand up to it. You bring your axe back down, cuts through his hand into his neck. He drops down. How much damage did you do? Doubling it?
That's another 20, so total 26.
Whoa! He drops down dead without shouting at all, just blood bubbling. And
if I can reach a hand out, just kind of ease him down. If I'm allowed to. If I'm too focused on the attack, then okay, cool. We'll just kind of. We don't want him to like make a huge racket falling to the ground.
Yeah, you're like easing him down. He's just like, and the heart's last beats are squirting out blood, and he just stops.
Okay.
All right, let's see what this guy can do here. Oof, not great. He gets to the top, and he. All right, I've got to zoom out so I can redirect this guy's face. And this guard sees him. So as he's moving forward, let me get initiative on this guard. And then they had a 10 as well. Oh, geez. Add turn 10. So Samuel's going to go right before he does. He makes 2 weapon attacks. One's a natural 20. The second one hits. So we're looking at, let's see. 9, that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25. So the first slash cuts into this guy's chest. He like looks down, eyes go wide. He goes to scream. The second one slashes down the straight part of his face, just flat down, splitting his mouth and teeth. And he crumples down to the ground as blood starts spurting out. He sort of turns over to you. He's like, go to the building. Go to the building. As you sort of zoom out, you see that there are other guards that haven't seemed to notice at this point, just because everything has happened so quickly. So on your next turn, what do you want to do?
What building did he mean?
He's pointing at the big building up here.
Okay. I try to sneak to the building. I'm a cloud. I am a cloud. I don't think I'm a cloud anymore.
I'm a storm cloud. I'm a little black rain cloud.
So that's my regular movement there.
Okay, so that's your first. What about this? Anything else you want to do on your turn?
All dashing kind of implies that I'm like sprinting and whatnot. I'm technically trying to be sneaky. So, trying to hug this wall so this guy here doesn't see me, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything as of yet.
Okay. That would be my turn because I'm specifically taking action to like try to not be seen.
Yeah. All right, so he is going to go, what's his speed? Is 30. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He sort of walks up to this guard who clearly sees him. I need to start getting these guys in here as well. Oof, wow. 19. Got 5. Ooh, 20. And this guy. So neither of you are being particularly stealthy at this moment. Okay. And it doesn't seem like Samael's even trying, to be quite honest. He's just moving at this point now that you guys got to the top. This archer right here does not see you, but he does see Samael. He's like, oh, who goes there? And he looks over at his friend. Who's this sap over here? What do you think he's doing? His friend's like, I don't know. Maybe we should get the commander out here. It's like, I don't want to bother the general. They're sort of discussing it. This one on his turn moves up to the top of this little steps that lead up to a little bit of a higher peninsula here, or a higher level. Looks down at Samael. He's just like, stop, state your business. And here Samael say nothing. And just sort of the armor creaks a little bit on his turn. And the Historian Guard pulls out his sword, is sort of threateningly as like holding his action to see what happens next. Arjan, you're up.
Okay. Got to get to the building. So 5, 10, 15. This is the only entrance here, I'm assuming, that I can see?
Yeah.
Okay. Got to go for it. 20, 25, 30. I have a message. Get out of the way.
I'm a rain cloud. All right, Samuel moves up to close the distance. The guy gets his ready attack off. It's actually two of them, 13 and 14. Both of them are parried off by Samuel, who just jabs in to try to run him through. And he parries it off. So they're sort of in the middle of just fighting each other, doing their best to move around. The archer above you looks down. He just sort of looks across the way at the other person fighting, brings his crossbow up and lets it loose on you. It's actually represented as a javelin in this particular thing. 14, what's your armor class?
My armor class right now is 22.
So it literally hits your armor and bounces, ricochets off, just doesn't even get through it at all. And he sort of looks back, General!
Damn it.
This guard comes running around the corner. What the hell's going on? What are you guys doing? He sort of like you see him like putting something away in his belt pocket, sort of hiccups a little bit. You! What are you doing here? And they're like, get him! And he's sort of looking up at you.
Damn it.
But that was his turn. So this final archer is going to go. You have cover from him, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. And the bolt just sort of ricochets off the top of the stairway that you're at the bottom of and flies off into the darkness of night. Let's see. The guard right in front of Samael attacks him twice. And both of them are parried off. They're sort of just going toes against each other. They're pretty evenly matched. Arjan, you're up.
Bye, guys. Going in.
So you get to the door, which is closed at the moment. What do? You're going to try to kick it in? You're going to try to open the door? What are you going to do?
No, we're kicking this door in.
All right, so give me a strength check.
Strength check. That's an 18.
You kick it, the door just busts in, and standing in front of you, I don't have an interior map of this building, so just bear with me here. Map layer. Okay, go back to the token layer. Standing in front. Oh my gosh. That was the map layer. Go to the token layer, you turd. Standing almost right in front of you at the bottom of a staircase with all of his armor as if he was just called for. Now he's moving down. It looks like a cleric. And he stands, his eyes are wide as the door busts open and you're standing there. Who are you? What is the meaning of this?
The future sends its regards. My last 5 foot of movement. And then I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to ask him 2 questions.
Okay.
So the first one is a 19.
Okay, and 19 hits.
All right, and so that's 10 points of damage. And then the second axe attack, 19.
Axe attack!
So, and that's...
Hits.
11 points of damage. So total 21 points of damage.
Woof. Oh, man. Okay. So you cut into him twice and he sort of like screams out, ah! 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 Just sort of shocked. He doesn't really understand what the hell is going on in this second. Let me get him into initiative real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta move him to reach it. Why do these not have initiative on them? This is ridiculous. Oh, they do. I'm just dumb. Oops. All right. let me add one more person who is in the foyer that you passed right by. GM layer. Token layer. Let's see. Roll initiative. Perfect. All right, so let's get to where you were, because you just went. So next up is Laquelle, the Divine Hammer General, who's standing right in front of you. He looks down at you, sort of shocked that you did what you just did. Do you even know who I am, son? Do you have any idea?
That's why I'm here. Yes, I know.
I am righteousness. I am the divine hammer itself.
No, you serve evil.
You see this sort of mistiness as he speaks one word surround him, and he sort of disappears from your vision momentarily as you sort of look around to try to relocate him. You see him standing behind this elven female that is sort of grinning at you.
Oh, no.
All right, so that is his turn. Next up is Samael. So he is going to do his damnedest to take this guy down once and for all. Whoa, nice. So both attacks hit. That's 8, 10, that's 20 total. This guy drops down dead. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is his full move. And well, what if he did this? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If he went the other way, he would have come here. All right. We'll get him a little bit closer. He's like, where are you? What is happening? He's sort of calling out, trying to figure out where you are. This one turns around and he's going to try to attack you from behind. Okay. Do you have any...
My armor class is 20 because my shield's facing well, it was facing the dude.
So without your shield, it's 20?
Yep.
No. Oh. So he fires off at you and he sort of hits into the wall right next to you. This guard charges forward to Samael and attacks him. You'll not get away with this assassination! You know what's weird is one of these does have the, what is it called? The roll initiative, but the other ones don't. That's very, very strange. Weird. So it's not just me. It's the stupid D&D Beyond is the thing. All right. Anyway, so he charges him and it tries to attack. The first swing is a 1, so he sort of stumbles over himself. He clearly seems a little bit inebriated at this point. He uses the second attack to plant his sword to keep himself from falling. And then we've got the mage. All right. So the mage looks over at you. Oh, starts speaking these strange words, pulls some sort of object out of her hand, which sort of melts out and drips water down as this blast of cold air erupts from her hands, screeching out in a direct cone toward you. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. That's an 18.
Where's her DC? So it's intelligence. That's 18 is nice. All right, so you make the save. So let's see, a creature takes on a failed save or half as much. All right, so let's see what the roll is. It didn't give me the damage. All right, I'll just do it. So 25, 30, so 15 damage of cold just searing toward you, blasting you toward this banner staircase. You sort of like brace yourself on the banister of it as you feel the metal of this plate mail just sort of icing over. Crystals are appearing all over your weapons and hands and arms and everything. You're just sort of like wide-eyed and shocked. And she just sort of smiles a little bit. You're a bit out of your depth, I think.
We'll see.
Second archer is going to try to hit Samael. And we'll see how effective he is or not. He actually does hit him. Wow. Oh. So let's see. takes 7 damage. He sort of smacks him and spins him halfway. Looks back up. Where are you? We're supposed to stay together.
I'm in the building, like you told me to.
It's your turn. It took him a little longer to take care of that guard than he anticipated. All right,
I literally yell, I'm in the building like you told me to.
Okay.
All right, can I get to where they're at?
Yeah. You're like moving around. You move up toward them. You see her eyes kind of go wide, but there's like almost like maniacal state, this sort of like fury in her eyes, this fire in her eyes.
She does a lot of damage. So we're gonna attack her with both attacks. Okay. Actually, no. We're gonna do 1 attack on her, 1 attack on him, because I'm still technically supposed to go after him. So 20 to hit her. The mage.
20 does hit.
Okay.
I'm just looking.
She takes 8 points of damage, and we're going to. Is she up against the wall, perchance?
I mean, at this point, she's got a wall to her left, but behind her, she's got some room before she hits the wall.
Okay, we'll go ahead and no, that's fine. We'll not do anything else.
So you said 8 damage, right?
Yep, 8 damage, and then for the general, we'll take a swing at him.
He's a major general.
25 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh, and he takes 14. Ouch. And we'll go ahead and use goading attack on him.
You have to remind me what that does.
I'm the only target there, but I'm doing it for additional damage. So basically, he has to make a wisdom save. Otherwise, even if he fails, any other person he attacks but me is at disadvantage, but I'm the only one there. Like I said, it's only for the additional damage.
Okay.
So that's...
What's the DC?
DC right now is 16. You
said it was wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom.
Okay, he did make that.
Okay, so he takes a total of 20 points of damage from that attack.
Oh, wait. What was the first damage? That was the second attack.
Yeah, that was the second attack. So,
so you attacked her once.
And attacked her once and then attack him once.
Okay, so I thought you did 14 damage that first attack on him. Didn't you roll damage and then you did your maneuver after that?
Yeah. So, it was 18. I'm sorry. I can't math.
Oh, so it was 4 extra. I understand. Okay.
Yeah, 4 extra damage, yeah.
Plus 4. Okay, tracking now. Okay, so you cut into him with the axe. He sort of like stands back and braces himself. It almost looks like he sort of closes his eyes, and you can just feel this sort of divine aura. And it's a bit conflicting because he is wearing a triangle as a holy symbol. Like, this is clearly a form of a priest, and yet you're like actively hacking into him. It's operating on behalf of good people. Like, you're in a strange place mentally.
I never bothered to figure out how this works. So
okay, so it's his turn. Let me take a quick look at him. Flit around you at 15 feet for the duration. You're good or neutral. It appears angelic. Okay, so you see these spiritual guardians sort of like manifest around him as he holds up his holy symbol, calling out to Paladine for protection from the evil that surrounds and threatens the king priest. You see this radiant light flutter out. Let me see. Spirit guardian. Okay, if you're evil, they appear fiendish. He's not evil. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time, which you didn't, miss on a failed save, on a successful save, at higher levels when the spell is using a 4th level slot. Okay, so if you're in or if you enter this, you're going to have to deal with the damage.
Yep.
In this particular case, it's radiant, so it's 18 damage.
Is there a save associated with that? There might not be.
There's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Well, it says on the first time on a turn that it starts there. So yeah, let's do a wisdom saving throw for this first.
Okay. 14? That's probably a fail.
His DC is 5, 6, 7, 18.
18. Okay, so I take the full damage.
No. It's 13. I'm
Oh.
sorry. It's a +5 to hit with spell attacks. So you actually don't take the full damage. You take half of it, so 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah. So you see these guardians sort of flittering all around him. So the range, let's see, it's a 15-foot sphere. So I'm going to draw a little circle just so we get a nice understanding of space here. And we'll make it blue because it's holy.
Totally.
So it's a sphere of 15 feet. So we'll go.
I need to
5,
get a soundboard,
10,
and you know that
15.
holy sound, whatever in the Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, which one?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Whenever like God shows up, that music that starts playing.
That'd be pretty great. I should probably find that just to sort of throw it in there for fun. Okay, so you see these things swirling all around him. Let's see. And that was an action. Is there anything else he has here as a sort of bonus? Like he's hurt. Oh, here's a bonus.
Yeah, healing word might be a bonus action.
Well, I wasn't looking at that one. I was looking at spiritual weapons. So this bonus action, you see a weapon manifest, or you feel this proximity of a weapon manifest behind you. And it gets 2 attacks. So let's see. The spiritual weapon. When you cast a spell, you make a melee attack against the creature. So he has to do his melee attack, which is... So it does not hit you.
Okay.
Moves forward, just bounces right off of your plate. He's like, "You're wearing divine armor! Divine hammer armor! This is heresy! You shall pay with your life after the king priest enslaves you! Perhaps we'll make it painful." Samael's turn. So he's going to strike out at this drunk guy in front of him. Hopefully he can make it to you. Natural 20, and the second one misses. So a 20 doesn't quite drop. Oh, I got the wrong one. Doesn't quite drop the dude. No, that was 16, not bad. But he cuts right into him. The guy screams out, "Oh, help, help!" This guard turns around, looks down. He's going to shoot at you. Not at you, at Samael, I mean.
Yeah.
Misses him. The next guard, which is right in front of him that just got hit, strikes out at him. Got 2 attacks. The first one does actually hit, so 7, 8, 9 damage. Oh, boy. And then, who's next? The mage. The magi. You see her mystically disappear and reappear off to the side of you. Where's the mage's stat card here? Give me a second here. That's 1 slot. That's 20-foot range. 300-foot range, 20-foot area of effect. So 20 feet. Let's see. 5, 10, 15. She does not want to get him. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. And it goes up past that direction.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Why is this not letting me change it? I don't want it that color. I want that color and that color. There.
Okay.
So she starts whispering these spidery words of magic. And just as it was a cone of cold before, icy storm just manifests right in your area, covering snow, plastering it against the walls. And it's just immediately the temperature drops almost instantly. Everything is freezing cold. I need a, let's say, a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, geez. That's okay. Here we go.
And her DC.
Hey.
Yeah, you made it. So let's see. The creature takes that, or half as much. Okay, so it's bludgeoning and cold damage.
Mm-hmm.
So the bludgeoning, you take 4 damage is half. And the cold damage is 17, so that's 8 is half. So 8, 19, 11, 12 total. And it's just like a hailstorm right in your face. You're not even sure where the edge of this thing is or how it's even possible happening. But she just sort of whispers, "You're out of your depth." The next one up is the archer. He's going to fire down at Samael. Samael's screaming, "Bring him outside! Bring him outside!" Where is this guy? Ah! So he strikes both times, 7, 8, 9, so that's 18. He finally drops his dude in front of him. He charges 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 in front of this guy. He's going to step to the side of him, 30. So he's got a little bit of cover from the other dude. Arjan, you're up.
Yeah, the cleric. Well, I'm supposed to bring him outside, so I'm assuming I'm bringing him out dead. Well, go ahead.
So at the beginning of your turn, because you start in that area, let's see, a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw. Man, 20.
So this is the spiritual guardian. So a 20 is definitely a save. Okay. And you end up taking half, which is 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Radiant damage as the spiritual guardians are striking out at you. And you just hear the laughter of this general, of the divine hammer. "Paladine is on my side, assassin, vile tempter. You shall pay." And now it's your turn. What are you doing?
Is that really how you want to speak as someone of the cloth? All right, we're attacking him.
Wait, are you someone of the cloth? Is that what you're implying?
Nope.
Oh.
No, I'm not. All right, and we are going to action surge this turn. So, we're going to precision strike that. Does a 21 hit him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
He takes 11.
So you cut into him. His eyes sort of go. He's in the middle of some other monologue, which just sort of like loses his voice from the hit.
Second attack.
Blood starts to like drip out of his mouth.
26.
Like, and he just drops down to his knees. His head sort of like wobbles a little bit as he stares up to you. He drops down to the ground face first.
Okay, cool. Well, okay.
You're not in a good place right now.
No, I'm not in a good place, but he said to bring him outside, so I'm going to try to bring him outside.
Are you really?
That's what he said!
Okay. That is exactly what he said, so you're right. All right, so for your move, you're just going to reach down, grab a leg, and just go?
Yeah.
You move half your distance for that.
Yep.
So if you move past her, you finally get out of this maelstrom that you're in the middle of, and you see her standing there, eyes wide as she looks down at the hand holding the boot, and you see her just sort of shake her head like, no, just move on, just keep going. Like she could attack you right now because of but she chooses not to.
Don't forget, I'm out of my depth.
All right, so is that your full movement?
Yeah, that's my turn. That's my turn. Right. Actually, no. I still have a bonus action, and I'm going to second wind.
No. Oh, come on. We can do this. We can do this.
We can do this.
How is it Samael's turn already? Do these guards go?
I think you accidentally skipped a guard. Yeah, you accidentally skipped one of the crossbow guards.
So, did he already die? So this archer did not go. I did skip this archer here. Okay. So I'm going to quickly do that. He's going to try to attack Samael. Sorry, guys. I just got a lot of different windows popping up here. And let's see. What is that? That is a 1. So, yeah, he moves, tries his best to fire. His friend's like, no, and sort of ducks down, and it sort of goes right past, flying by both of them. Then you go.
I love how that other guy is just like, oh, he's going to fire.
I mean, he's like, what are you doing? I'm right here, man.
Right here. Gun safety.
And he doesn't see inside, so he doesn't know the outcome of what's happened yet.
Yeah.
So Samael is just going to move here, glance in, see that you got him, look over at this guy. He's like, your general is dead. You can stay here and fight, or you can leave and survive. This city is falling on the morrow. And you see them sort of like look at each other, just sort of shock in their eyes. And he just sort of backs up, like nods his head a little bit. Okay. Okay. And he just sort of like runs away. You see that mage literally disappear. She just sort of whispers something and just.
Okay, cool. Good riddance.
This other guard, it's his turn. He sort of backs up a little bit, climbs up the edge onto this upper level, and just sort of like stumbles and tries to run away. He turns around. How on earth did you kill him by yourself?
I'm great at what I do.
Apparently. I didn't mean literally to bring a dead corpse out. I thought we would fight him together out here, but I think we should probably leave as quickly as possible. You can leave his corpse there.
Okay.
Someone will find him. All right, so that is...
Sounds good.
that encounter. Let's get back to here. All right, so as you guys are moving back to this sort of hideaway, he is doing everything as he can to stifle his laughter. He seems wildly giddy, like he never thought it would go so well. In his wildest dreams, he thought you guys were gonna like really slug it out. He's like, I'm really glad you came. It would have been just me otherwise, and I'm not sure I could have performed as well as you did, to be quite honest.
There was a mage in there. It was
Really?
It got a little hairy. She liked this thing about ice, and she constantly said you're out of your depth. And I'm not sure if that's like supposed to be a special play on words. I don't know anything about magic. I assume she's supposed to say that to use ice magic. That's what I assume.
I know the Sylvanisti had sent a white-robed magi to work with Laquael, the general of the Divine Hammer. Her name was Arualon, and she is quite formidable.
Was she an elf?
She was a Sylvanisti.
Yeah, Sylvanisti. Right. That might have been her. Was she wearing white robes when I was fighting her?
No, it looked like she wasn't even wearing robes at all. She was wearing like evening attire.
Oh, okay.
They didn't expect you guys to bust in.
I get the feeling she's more than just advising, though. Well, was anyway.
Well, let's hope we don't have to deal with her on the field of battle tomorrow.
Let's hope.
So, do you want to wait till the morning to meet your dragon, or do you want to meet her tonight?
First off, her second dragon. Let's meet her now.
Yes, they're stationed on the outskirts of the city, just for protection. But there are multiple factions of these dragons. Some of them are working on behalf of Caravarix, like the ones we're going to be mounting, facing off against Istar, due to their heresy and desecrating the dragon graveyard in order to power this abomination. And the other half, unfortunately, are siding with them under false pretext that the King Priest is speaking on behalf of Paladine, which I cannot believe, because you're here.
Sure seems that way. Okay, so I do have a really important question.
Yes.
Okay, you said she, right?
Yes.
Do I need to take a bath? Do I need to like clear out my mouth? Do female dragons care about that sort of thing? I've never really met a dragon.
She's not going to be interested in you, if that's what you are inferring.
Okay. I don't. People say stories all the time. There's literally a bar story where I come from, where a bard is said to have like lain with 3 dragons. Like,
how does that even work?
I don't know. I've never. Well, I have met one, but they were trying to kill me at the time, so
I don't
that doesn't
know
count.
How that would work. That's very odd. Okay. No, I've never slept with a dragon. I've never had any desire to sleep with a dragon. I can't imagine why you would. So I don't think that'll be an issue.
Well, I don't want to offend her
by not sleeping.
No, I don't want.
Are you sure we're related? This is getting a weird place right now.
I was literally going to say the same thing. Let's just pretend I never said anything and go meet her.
Very well. So he's sort of going through the canal system. You end up on the very outskirts of what is the most wild portion of the city. If you're looking at the map, I'm sort of pinging it right now on the right-hand side. Everyone else isn't going to see this because I only have a map of the destroyed city, so it won't matter anyway. But this is a very just completely sort of a forest area. This is where you actually see the neutral gods statues represented. And it is a very peaceful, quiet place. As you guys climb out of the canal system into this, it's almost like a nature preserve, into this very forested, dense area. He sort of takes a deep breath. You see him put his sword away. He's like, "We're safe here, even from
Okay.
the Divine Inquisition.
All right.
The gods of neutrality have been banned and ostracized by the king priest recently. Not even they're good enough. And I fear, if rumors are true, the king priest is going to be outlawing all other of the good gods except for Paladine. It's really getting to a place of insanity, quite frankly."
Does he set up shop at the Temple of Paladine?
No, no, he does not. He has his own palace at the center of the city here.
So how does you mean that big tall one in the middle?
Yes, they call it the threshold of the heavens.
I don't think service to Paladine means what you think it does. Like literally building yourself a tower bigger than the Temple of Paladine itself. Like,
you see the problem. Well, anyway, please follow me here.
I will.
So you guys are moving through the dense foliage. It's still nighttime, so you've got some really nice silver light shining down, sort of illuminating the tops of all the trees, breaking through the canopy, lighting up the ground. There's a sliver of red, so it's just sort of dusting the tops of shadows with this sort of crimson. It's quite beautiful. You're used to this. You're from Krynn. Nothing spectacular. Just noting in this sort of dense foliage, you feel this different sort of divine presence, one that's a little bit more tolerant and accepting, and you feel kind of welcome here. As you break through the canopy, you're like looking at what must be like sort of like a tree stump or something, but it has scales, and you like almost run into it, and you so slowly like start lifting your head up, and you're looking up face to snout with this monstrous dragon, and its muzzle of a mouth is just sort of looking down upon you. Its eyes have a little like glitter in them, and you are just sort of like, what, shocked, fearful? How are you reacting to this?
Don't dragons have like a fear aura, even good ones?
Yeah, but they have to kind of trigger it intentionally.
Okay, so it's like a force of personality kind of thing. Like when you're facing a bear, you gotta psych up, to scare it off. It's kind of like that. Okay.
Make yourself big.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. You gotta like amp up. You gotta amp yourself up when you do it. I'm just stunned as I'm looking up at this thing. It's like, I hope I didn't disturb your sleeping.
It sort of like tilts its head. It doesn't open its mouth or anything, but you start hearing sounds in your mind, sort of like running through different obscure languages until it rests on Solamnic. "I wasn't sleeping. I was waiting for you. I believe you are to be my rider. Is this true?"
That's what I was told, my lady. Pleasure to meet you.
It sort of moves to the side, and now that it sort of like shifts and it's not like right in your viewport, you actually see another dragon off to the side. The one that you're looking at, the coloring is a little obscured because of the moon's light, but it looks brass. Sort of these brassy metallic scales glittering across its leg and up its back. Its snout is nice and brassy and really great color markings all over. And it almost looks, now that it sort of turns its head, looks almost like it's got a grin on its mouth. And it sort of like brings itself down on its belly. Its arms sort of brought out in front of it so its head can sort of rest. And so its nostrils are about eye level to you, but you can sort of, look up a little bit and see its eyes. It's like, "What brings you to Anyari? I'm not familiar with you." And you see your kin, Samael, walk off to the other dragon.
You're not going to believe this, but I'm pretty sure Paladine sent me here from the future.
You're right, I don't believe it. Paladine is working on behalf of the king priest, and they have desecrated our graveyard that Paladine sent us to. I can't imagine that he is working on our behalf at all.
Times have changed, so I'm probably here because of Paladine from the future.
I don't understand. Humans don't live that long. How old are you? Are you human? She sort of
yes.
brings up a little paw, like a claw, and sort of like lightly pokes you a little bit. You feel human?
Okay, this is the best way I can explain it. I touched a altar of Paladine because we were restoring a Dragonlance, right? This is, and I give her the year that I'm from because I already forgot. I'm sorry.
So your eyes just sort of like go wide a little bit.
And and basically I'm gonna give her the Reader's Digest version of what has brought me here, like the war, Takhisis, these dragon men, um, restoring the Dragonlance, Lord Soth, and and then the whole River of Time thing. I accidentally fell in it, and here I am.
She sort of like shakes her head a little bit and she like spouts air out of her nostrils, which like blasts you in the face, almost knocks you
I
back.
just got sneezed on. Great.
She's just that that argues credibility. I cannot believe that's true, any of it at all, and yet here you are. Samael sort of leans back. He's like actively petting the dragon in front of him, which has a silver cast to its scales. He's like, "It's all true. I dreamt it, and he's here. If dreams are anything to be, tell any truth from, then everything he's saying is true." It's like, well, perhaps Paladine hasn't abandoned us after all. This is good news, for on the morrow we face our brothers and sisters. And it is tragic and sorrowful. I hope it doesn't come to battle, but if it does, we are prepared. She sort of moves her shoulder to the side and like brings her massive dragon leg out, scooting forward this bundle of this wrapped, really almost like 16 feet or more long object that's wrapped up. This is left over from the Third Dragon War, when we willingly left on behalf of Paladine's request, when Huma Dragonbane defeated the Queen of Darkness. This Dragonlance will serve you well as my rider. Have you ridden dragons before?
No, I can't say I have. I barely know how to ride a horse.
I'm sorry? You don't know how to ride a horse? Are you comparing me to a horse?
Oh no, I would never. I would never think.
Front legs, looks down at you.
Wait.
Do I look like a horse to you?
No, you are far more majestic. I'm an idiot.
You speak the truth still.
It's an argument with a woman. You just take it. Just take it.
Don't argue. Just accept and move on.
Just accept.
Yeah. So she is content just to sort of chat with you for a while. You are in post-battle. Like, your adrenaline is draining out of your body. You're exhausted. You literally barely traveled through time and space itself, and you were immediately thrown into this combat situation, which was pretty brutal. And now you're seeing a dragon in person, which has only happened once before, and you guys almost died. So now you're just sort of overwhelmed, I think is the right word. Physically and emotionally.
Yeah, I need to find a place to sit. It's a lot to take in.
You can rest here against my leg, and I will keep you warm, and we can have more conversation. It's so rare I get to converse with another little human being like you. I do love to learn things about your kind. Tell me, from where do you come?
I came from...
No, immediately.
Oh, immediately. Oh, I came from over there, which is where the River of Time dumped me.
No, I mean tonight. What were you doing earlier?
Oh, we kind of assassinated a general.
Ah, so the plan went off.
Yeah.
We are in communication with the rebel cell. It was us who told them about the Knight of Solamnia that is arriving here tomorrow to confront Caravarix. We are certain it will not go well, but we hope. We always hope. Do you know any riddles or games?
All I know is dice games.
Well, I'm sure we could figure something out. She's like looking around. Are there any pebbles that you could use for dice?
I actually pull out a set of dice.
Wonderful. Now explain the rules and let's play. So you guys can go through that as you're sort of relaxing in her presence. She doesn't do anything for you, but it's just you can't feel safer than in the arms of a dragon. It's just not a possible thing.
Yeah.
So you feel very content and
I
safe.
mean,
And
let's be honest. How what can a bear do for an ant and vice versa? You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right, right. You see Samael off in the distance, just sort of having a conversation with this silver dragon. He comes over after you guys have done playing a few games and stuff, just sort of chatting and getting to know each other, getting a little repertoire. And he's like, "So have you met Rain? You feel comfortable with her?
yes, I do.
Good, because tomorrow you will be riding her, and we will, I suspect, be going into battle." Now, the Divine Hammer has good dragons on their side as well. As I mentioned before, the forces of dragons are split. They're all metallic, but they don't see eye to eye, just like those of us who believe we're acting on behalf of Paladine and the King Priest who believes that he is acting on behalf of Paladine. As a former cultist of Morgian in my youth, I cannot tell you the irony that is just rushing through me in every moment of my crazy life. But I do feel fortunate enough to live in this time and make a mark on history. And I'm very,
Absolutely.
very glad that you're here with me.
I'm glad to be here too. Actually, I did have one question. Here's the thing. I don't lift the Dragonlance up. I just touched with the bundle that it's in. One of the men that were fighting in my time, he was cursed in this state of undeath. And the lance that we had been sent to restore at the Temple of Paladine in my time had also been cursed because it had been used to slay a good dragon. Can I even use this tomorrow? I don't want to curse this too.
You told me that Paladine sent you. Is that not true?
It's true, but
Then I would think that you would be able to wield this. This is a lance, though. It's not a spear or a pike, so it's not something that you can carry around and use. It has to be mounted on her harness.
oh, that part I understand. No, it's just there's all I wanted to say was that there was a story about a man who slew a good dragon with a dragon lance, cursing that lance. And I'm just worried that I don't want this one to get cursed too. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. I am a little bit concerned about that, in as much as I don't want to kill any dragons, and if we can avoid striking a dragon, that would be ideal. I believe that the good dragons will all unify under a singular Caravaric's banner and face off against the King Priest. On the off chance that that doesn't happen, then if we have to curse these lances to stop them and bring this city of hell to the ground, then I think it might be worth it.
Well, I'm the stranger here, so I'll have to follow your lead. I was sent here to see something, and it seems like you're the one guiding me to it.
You're following an old cult member. Remember that.
Cult member I was told to meet.
All right. How are you getting back to your time, by the way?
I look out over the city, and I'm just like, I'm going to assume there's a plan. I don't know what it is, but I assume there's one. And
between you and me, that's never a good thing.
Oh no, I'm a mercenary. That's never a good thing. But I was told that my family had faith in Paladine for many generations. And so, what time to start but now, right?
I suppose so. Well, let's get some sleep. I believe the Knight of Solamnia will be arriving to speak with the King Priest at the threshold of the heavens in the morning. We only have a few hours left, so you're welcome to sleep here. I'm going to be just right over here with Kite, the silver dragon. You can fall asleep here if you'd like, or if you'd like to try to find your way back through the canals to our hideout.
No, thank you. I prefer the fresh air.
I assumed as much. All right.
And the pleasant company.
She's like, that's right. My rider's polite and plays games, not stuffy and gravelly like you. He's like, all right, have a good night. You deserve each other. He just sort of moves off. All right, so she kind of, light conversation here and there, but for the most part, she'll let you rest and get as much sleep as time allows.
Yeah.
Before you know it, the moons have passed this over in the sky, and the sun is rising, breaking through the canopy of the trees at the edge, the sort of horizon line of the city that's sort of floating in the air right now. You sort of wake up, and Samael's like, I think it's time. Let's go to the threshold and see the spectacle, as it were.
All right. Would that count as a short rest then, do you think?
You can do a full rest. That's fine.
Oh, long rest? Okay.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
You'll need it.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Okay.
So you both start heading out. The dragons take to the air on their own, and they're flying off.
Don't forget the DragonLance. Don't forget the thing.
Well, I mean, it's staying here. He's like, well, don't worry about it. Samael just comes up as you guys are walking. He's like, we don't want people to know that we're going to be wielding those in battle unless we absolutely have to. We're hoping for a peaceful outcome. I'm just a pessimist, and I don't think it's going to come peacefully. But we might as well hear, and you guys immediately start hearing horn, a knight of Solamnia being greeted at the threshold of the heavens by the king priest, and just light is emanating from the central tower of the heavens, booming up into the skies, this beam, and it's just, you feel good and energized from it. It sounds incredibly positive. How could it be anything but positive?
Because it's coming from a tower, not Paladines.
And yet, through the breaks of the sparse clouds in the sky, you do see large dragons circling the city, waiting. As you guys approach the sort of courtyard, it is packed with people. This is a spectacle, and so everyone is here. And you see the shiniest armor you've ever seen in your entire life from this Knight of Solamnia on this well-prepped and made up and groomed horse, which is just this massive, white, striking beast as it's sort of prancing down the road, and his head is held high. He's not looking at anyone. People are literally throwing flowers up at this guy, which is like bouncing off of his armor. Children are like crying out, "Oh, you're amazing!" Women are sort of fainting, as the sides of the street as he's going by. Horns are blaring, this sort of call to arms as he's sort of like moving up the street, and the doors to the threshold of the heavens just start slowly opening. And that first crack, light shoots out of it, and just brilliant, radiant illumination, even brighter than the sun, if it was even possible, is shooting out of the center of this building as people are getting down onto their knees and just bringing their arms up, prostrating themselves in front of the king priest of Istar, who steps out onto this sort of tall dais with steps leading down to the courtyard where the Knight of Solamnia stops about 100 feet away. He sort of salutes with this shiny ceremonial looking sword, and he has this tall dragonlance pike sort of mounted from the stirrup in the saddle, that's sort of going straight up in the air with this banner flapping off of it in the breeze. And he calls out in this strong, powerful voice, "I am here to speak to Caravanics!" And the king priest responds almost completely silently, and yet it echoes throughout the entire city as if he was right next to you speaking. "And you will be seen. Caravanics, call, bring down yourself and face off against this holiest of holy knights, this divine being sent by Paladine himself to stop your irrational, wicked rebellion against Onyari." And you hear this roar that breaks like thunder across the sky. And through the clouds, the largest dragon you've ever seen, you've only seen a couple in your life, but the largest dragon you've ever seen, gold glittering in the sun in his scales, flies around this massive tower, and he is just in mass and scale, almost as large as the tower
no,
itself.
Like we're talking like puts Stormfronts to shame. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You're seeing like the atmosphere itself move away as he like sort of swirls through the sky and lands just as gently as he can, but it's still a massive being.
Yeah.
And the ground rumbles and people scream out in fright. There's a bit of discord happening here. This is a gold dragon. This is a good dragon. This is the king priest of Istar. He's supposed to be a holy priest of Paladine. This is the knight of Solamnia. They're all supposed to be on the same side, and yet they're not. And you're just have been swallowed in this rebellion that's actively working against, but they still say they're working for Paladine. So there's so much that doesn't make any sense at all logically from like this good, bad, black, white, ones and zero dichotomy that you've lived your entire life in thus far. The dragon just looks down and just roars out with this blast of flame coming out of its mouth, shooting off into the sky, causing shadow to even break through the radiance of the king priest himself. And for the slightest second, you see a terrified man in the king priest's place, just frightened out of his wits before the light comes right back, and he looks just as powerful and as divine as he's ever been, as confident. You can't even really see features with the radiance spilling off of him. And the dragon roars out, sort of shaking everyone. People are screaming, taking massive steps back. The whole crowd is making this massive circle between Caravarix and Knight Sarlamir. I want to get his name right because I'm going to mess it up.
Yeah.
Xanis Sarlamir. And the dragon's just... This monstrosity is built on the bones of my brothers and sisters that fought for your kind centuries ago. How dare you even pretend that it is okay to raise up our dead for your vile city and pleasure. If there can be any city with sin, this is certainly it. And the knight and the horse is reacting, but the knight is keeping the horse under control.
Yeah.
Just holding the lance back. I understand what you are saying, but you are foolish to believe Paladine did not sanction this himself. Paladine, your god, the dragon god, the god I worship in the Knights of Solamnia. Our order is ordained by him and his two sons. The king priest himself worships and adores the god. Everything he does is in accordance to his god's will, and this city without sin, I just spit on my camera, without sin is manifest destiny. And the dragon stomps on the ground, the horse whinnies back, and the knight has to hold himself, and he sort of falls a little to the side, starts like trying to calm his pet, his mount. He steps down off the horse, which then sort of like canters back a few steps, and he stands there with his lance. I order you on behalf of the Order of Solamnia, on behalf of the King Priest, on behalf of Paladine himself, stand back, call off your rebel dragons, and accept the might of the King Priest of Istar. And screams just rise up from the crowd all around, like clapping and cheering. Hear the might, the King Priest! And the dragon just looks around. Your King Priest worships himself, and if you can't see that, you do the same. Paladine does not speak through the likes of you or the likes of him. And the King Priest, almost shocked, like his body sort of like shakes. Heresy! This is heresy! I speak for Paladine! And the dragon calls, like sort of looks around. I see no gods here, only a weak little man with a pretty hat. and he leaps up into the air, sort of hovering, and the buffeting of his wings literally push people off their feet. Give me a dexterity check.
To be perfectly honest, I'm kind of siding with the dragon here.
You're able to like sort of like get your center of gravity down a little bit and like stop. You feel just inching back from the force of the wind from these massive wings that allow him to hover, about 25 feet off the ground, looking down at the king priest.
If I move my legs, they're just going to get swept out from underneath me. Wide stance, stay there.
Just looking like a sumo wrestler. Just
well, no, I've been in situations where it's like super high winds and you're trying to push against it, and every time you move your feet, it's like something is trying to sweep them off your legs. That's what I figure. That's what that feels like. Yeah,
100%, 100%. So the dragon looks down at the king priest. You're no king and you're no priest, for there is no god that would accept you. And he is just beside mumbling and stuttering and spurting, and his worshippers are just in rapt attention, like waiting for something to happen. And you just hear from behind the dragon, Solamnia cry out, I will not abide you speaking to the king priest, the voice of Paladine on Krynn. Face me, for we will finish this the only way you understand, in battle. And the dragon sort of turns its head. Its entire body shifts around. Its tail bashes down, little like, what are they called? Oh my gosh, pavilions and stuff like that, and statues. Yeah. And as it sort of turns around in like mid-flight, it looks down at him, and it just drops down to the ground right in front of him. What do you plan on doing, little man? There's nothing that you can do that would even hurt a creature like me. I am myth. I am legend. And he sort of like stands back with the lance and stands, and I am a knight of Solamnia! And plunges the DragonLance up into the face of Caravarix, who just leaps back, screams in agony. The king priest is completely gone in the situation. The doors of his threshold of heaven have slammed shut, and the dragon screaming as blood is actively flowing out of the wound to its face. It like leaps up off the ground trying to fly, and other dragons start screaming massive roars and it's just echoing down into the city from the sky above of sorrow of all these dragons. And you feel a hand on your shoulder, and it is your Samael. It's time. We need to get to the grove now.
Right. Let's go.
All right. This is where we're going to take a break. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will be right back after we refresh ourselves for a pretty interesting battle. All right. Here we go. We'll be right back. All right, thank you all for waiting. We are back. All right, so you go to the Grove, and I'm not going to be reenacting the entirety of the whole battle here. We're just going to have our little portion of it. But so you guys are running back to the Grove to meet your dragons, and you get there. The bundles are on the ground, but you don't actually.
As we're running, this epiphany is going to hit Arjan really hard. And as they're running, he, like breathlessly, he's going, "That's what he meant. That's what the old man meant. He sees the gods in everything. The gods are in everything, but it takes the will of man. It takes the will of mortals to make it actually mean anything. That's why we can benefit from the blessing of Paladine. That's why they can benefit from the blessing of Paladine. They call upon him and they worship him fervently." But it's through the will of man that the power of the gods is executed. That has to be it. That has to be what Ulrich was trying to tell me this whole time. Ulrich knew, and he did.
What's an Ulrich? As you guys
buddy of mine. Keep going.
Okay. Are you okay?
Just that old man. All the things that old man at the River of Time. It's starting to click. I think I understand.
I need your head in the game here. We've got to face off against these Divine Hammer men on Dragonback. Are you here for that?
Yes, I'm here for that. Let's do it.
All right. So you guys get to the Grove and you're looking around and you don't see the dragons. He's like looking at it. Kite should be right here. I don't see him. I don't see Rain. What the hell could be going on? You hear screams and cries and massive sort of like fire and lightning going off in the sky up above you and the sparse clouds that are there. Sort of something is happening up there that you guys are not privy to. And then you see this body flying down to the ground and you realize it's not flying, but it's falling. And it's a dragon and it smashes the edge of the city and just falls down dead. The body itself was bronze and the dragon is dead. And then you start to see two other forms sort of swirling behind it. One is brass and one is silver. And the closer they get, you recognize Rain and Kite respectively. And they sort of land down. You can see cuts and scrapes all over them. Kite has like this massive scorch mark across his head. Rain is looking down at you. She's just out of breath, like literally actively panting. All right, I need you to get that lance. Get up on my back and strap yourself in.
I will. Do just that. But
like it turns south really fast.
One little touch. The dice that we used, they're now on the necklace. Put the necklace on the dragon. For luck. Don't question it. It's a human thing.
Okay, just get on. We got to get out there.
Yep, we get on.
My brothers and sisters are dying as soon as you clamp in yourself and the dragon lance itself to the seated mount. You are pushed back and your stomach drops down to your toes as it lifts off into the air. And you've never felt anything like this before. You've never flown before. There's no like rides that you can go on that would simulate this feeling. You just have the wind pushing your skin of your face back as it leaps into the air and just soars up into above the city itself, which now just below you dwarfs, and you're just hoping that you can keep whatever food you had that morning, whatever fruit you stuffed in your face as you guys were walking to that meeting stays there, because this is different than anything you've ever experienced before.
Thanks for the apple, Trent.
You're getting higher and higher in the sky, and the air is getting thinner. And it's actually a little bit hard for you to breathe, not just because the atmosphere is thinner up here, but also because you're going so fast that you're just like, trying your best. And it looks like Samael's suffering the exact same effect. You see him way off to your left as you guys are going up into the sky. And in the distance, you're seeing dragons and their mounts attacking each other. Kite turns back to Samael and screams out, "Don't use the dragon lance unless you have to. Let's get the riders off and maybe we can talk the dragons down." And Rain looks like crants her head back at you. She's like, "Same for you. If we can, let's not kill our brothers."
You have my word.
All right, get ready. Here we go. And as you guys soar off, you sort of level through clouds and you get to almost like a coasting in the air as the wind is just whipping past you. You see animal like birds, kingfishers below you sort of squawking and moving out of the way as you guys break through these canopy of clouds. And let's see the battle map. So you are at the far south here,
All right. Yep, I see me.
and you see far to your north 2 other dragons of metallic coloring. It's kind of hard at this distance to tell exactly, but they clearly see you. So let's get some initiatives going. I'm going to link you your dragon, and I need you to run your dragon. Can you do that?
Yeah, I should be able to, so long as I can. Yeah.
So this is Rain. So let me copy and paste this over to you. Does that help? Can you pull that up on your...
Yes, I can. I have the monster manual too, so this is not this isn't a problem.
Right. Let me open this and get theirs. All right. So this is a lot. So basically, you're acting on the dragon's initiative because it's the one moving and stuff. We can keep you on your initiative just for the, in case it's not close enough and you have like a ranged attack or something you want to use. But for any movement, we have to use the dragon's initiative rather than your own, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, makes sense.
Add in kites, and then I'll add in Samael's. Let's just do this. Add turn. Oof. He's not having a very good one. And the 2 you're facing off against is Brazen. And Brazen is the bronze dragon. Did that track? Yes. And his rider which is bad guy number 7. And then Alpenglow is the young gold dragon that's also flying against you. And his rider is Douchey McDoucherton. And there's no initiative on that. Oh, that's so annoying. And 6. All right. So, because all movement is controlled by the dragons, we have to, of course, wait for them to get close to do anything. Oh, wait. Let me descend order it. So, Alpenglow is first on this initiative. Gold Dragon has a speed of flying of 80 feet. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. It's just like a V line straight for you.
Yeah. I almost started counting old D&D squares too.
Yeah, it's still 80. So they're just flying straight at you guys. Kite is next. Do you have control of the other dragon, your dragon, Rain?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I do.
All right, so Kite has a speed of 80. They're all the same. So it's actually, it looks over at you, and he makes a sort of like a flanking sign.
Okay.
So he goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. And then Rain is next.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Okay. I'm going to right there. Makes that real easy. Like, no, it's like right about there.
Nice. So as you guys are breaking through the clouds, you can see them sort of flying straight toward you. You guys sort of open up a little bit to sort of break them apart. And the dragons, like, throats are starting to, like, sort of shake as if they're getting breath weapons ready or something. And you just hear, like, echoing in your head. I'm only going to use this if I have to. Try your best to strike the rider with the lance, and maybe we can talk Brazen out of this.
You have my word.
All right, Dragon Rider 1 is not at a distance he can do anything. Arjan, is there anything you can do?
I have a heavy crossbow.
What's the distance on that?
100 and 400. So
Ooh, you might.
I'll be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to do that.
Try to strike Brazen's rider here.
Yep, I'm aiming for the rider. So, and this will be at disadvantage because of the distance. 10.
Yeah, it just flies off into the clouds. You never see it.
Okay.
All right, Samael. He doesn't have anything at this distance can really do anything, so he's just gonna grab the lance and just sort of aim. And this other Dragon Rider's the same. Alpenglow's turn is next. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Brazen is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. It's coming straight at you. And these, I mean, they're trying their best to stay at the exact same altitude. If you're going to do altitude shifts, that's fine. Just let me know up or down how much and factor it into your speed. And
Okay.
we'll do our best. This is a 2D map, so, what can we do?
Yeah.
Kite's turn is going to move in. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Actually, I could have been doing double that because their move is only one of their actions. They could have flown their second. So you see, as Kite is sort of inverting himself and going up like 10 feet above so that the lance can be aimed nicely at the Dragon Rider rather than actually hitting. And it's going to strafe by as he tries to attack. So I'm just going to do the movement first. So 5, 10, 15, 20, height for 40, 25 or 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. It's going to start turning around. And then Samael will get attack on his turn for having passed over, but I'm going to wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
So Rain.
She'll do the same thing. Do the whole come up 10 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 65, 70, 75, 80.
As you pass by, you hear the guy screaming, "Give up now so we don't have to waste these dragons!"
You're the one serving the bad ruler.
I serve Paladine!
No, you don't.
So Dragon Rider number 1, as Samael passes by, he takes a strike at him. Let's see.
Since I have base 2 attacks, or am I only getting one because it's like a pass by?
It depends if you're going to use a lance or not.
I'm using the lance, so it's
it'd
probably
only be
one
one
attack.
with the lance. Yeah, just
Okay.
the weapon. Well, yeah, because you can't jab the lance twice. It's like a single thing.
Yeah.
So this Dragon Rider, they don't have lances. He pulls his sword and he's like striking out. The first one misses Samael. The second one actually does hit him. That's 10 damage to poor... Can I select him? Here he is. So cuts into him. He screams, "Arjan, you're up." So you passed over.
All right.
Using the lance. Do you have the lance? Let me link it to you if you don't.
Yes, I have it equipped. We put it in my
cool.
inventory.
Good.
Or someone did. Anyway, going to attack. We're going to use precision strike on that. I have to roll it. There's a 15 hit.
It doesn't. So you guys you're like inverted and you just whoosh, instantly moving past each other, and you've never used this like this before. This is all new to you. Riding the dragon's all new to you, so it's understandable that you're sort of still getting your bearing. It just flies right past you so quickly you didn't even really imagine it could go so fast. Samael is going to do the exact same thing. Let me look at this Dragonlance because it's +5. Is that right, or +3? +3. Okay. All right, so he's going to do... Oh, Oh man, that misses. So he tries to angle his lance when he passed by, and it just completely went right next to him too. He's like, "Damn it! Circle around again, Rain or Kite. We can do this. You've got it. We'll kill this bastard." All right. So the Dragon Rider that you passed over is now after your initiative, so it's already happened. It's behind you. He turns around, and he's going to shoot his heavy crossbow at you. Officer makes 2 or 1.
It depends because of the
one.
Yeah, because of the reload feature on a crossbow. It basically like you can only make the reload feature specifically says you can only make 1 attack per action unless you have a feat or something that lets you rapid reload.
That's fine. He doesn't. He aims it back and just fires it off, and the dragon is moving, and so it's not a clear shot. It just sort of flies off into the wind. All right, Alpenglow. You're calling up. Should I use my breath weapon?
No.
Sort of moves, so 5, 10, 15, and then it's 20 turning around, 25, 30, and it's climbing up 35, 40, so it's the same elevation, 50, 60, 70, excuse me, I think I moved 280 to right here. And it's going to use its breath weapon. So this is a gold dragon. That's the bronze. Here's the gold. It has fire and a weakening breath. It's going to do the weakening breath. It exhales gas in a 30-foot cone and just envelops Samael and his dragon. It's a strength saving throw with disadvantage. Strength. Ooh, 14's not bad. It's not good enough. And then the dragon. He's got a silver dragon. Strength saving throw. With disadvantage. A 21 made it. Okay, so what does that say? Saving throw or disadvantage on strength-based attack rolls, strength checks, and saving throws. Repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn. All right, so it hit Samael. It did not hit the dragon, so Samael is at a disadvantage until he makes his save. Brazen. Where's Brazen? Is right next to you. It's going to fly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, doing a total arc right up into the air, up behind you. It's probably going to end up being like 50 on its full arc. And it is what is Brazen? A young bronze dragon. Bronze dragons can do lightning breath and repulsion breath. It's going to shoot out a lightning strike at you. Each creature in the line is going to be both of them is a dexterity saving throw. Excuse me.
There we go. Oh,
so
man.
Roll for you and your dragon.
And the dragon.
20 is great.
That was for me, and then dexterity for the dragon is 17.
Yeah. So the dragon just like sort of shifts out the way, you duck down, and a lightning strike or the lightning bolt just flies right past you. You hear this as it sort of blinds you momentarily. Your eyesight comes back, and you're just like, oh, I'm alive. We did it. Great.
My teeth are vibrating.
This is terrifying. All right, Kite. What is Kite going to do? It's screaming out at Alpenglow. Brother, why do you do this? Stop fighting. We can resolve our differences peacefully. The King Priest is clearly not working on behalf of Paladine. He says, heresy! As it's flying, it's going to make a pass. So staying at the same level, just sort of canted to fly next to it so that Samael will get a chance to hit it on his turn. Rain, you're up.
Rain's going to go straight up in order to... oh, whoop, that's the wrong one. Rain's going to go straight up so we can... And we'll shift just a little bit so we can turn around and then pass over. Or we'll pass by them, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Is Rain going to do anything?
No. We're trying to hold off on the breath weapons.
Okay. So it's this Dragon Rider's turn. He's going to try to hit Samael with a crossbow. Heavy crossbow. He misses. It just flies off. This is pretty useless. They need to get toes. It's really a dragon battling here. So you're up, Arjan.
All right. Since we passed by them, We're gonna try again with this lance.
You can do it.
And then, oh my god,
we're getting low rolls.
I know it's rough.
And we're using dragon lances.
And then we're going to go ahead and try and precision attack again. Well, big numbers, please. 17.
Not enough to hit the rider.
Okay.
So just moves past me, like leans aside. What the hell do you have there? Come on, let's burn these things to the ground. You just hear this as you pass by. All right, Samael, he's going to make his attack as he moves past. With a 20 hits.
Hey.
So he hits the rider. What's the damage bonus on that? 3d6. Oh, it's not a dragon. Dang it. So
it's a D10 plus 5.
All right. All right. I rolled a 1. 6 damage on this punk. That's some shit, dude. With a dragon lance? Come on!
I know, right?
All right, the second dragon rider, you were next too. He's going to try to hit you with a... He can't really do anything except for try to hit you with a stupid crossbow. And he got a 1. It jammed. He's just like, no, come on. Try to keep it even. The dragon's like, do you want to kill him or do you want to get even? Alpenglow. So this dragon is going to move up into the air, sort of try to arc its way back around. Ooh, come on. And the dragon itself is going to make an attack on Samael as it flies past him. So, young gold dragon. Gold. Gets 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 2 with its claws. So the bite, oh, Nike hits, and the 2 claws, 1 of them hit. Wow. So that's 30 damage. Holy crap. So you just hear Samael scream out.
Oh, jeez, no.
And blood just sort of like mists before the wind catches it and makes it disappear. But he just, and the dragon's like looking back, are you all right? And there's no response at all initially. Brazen, who's Brazen? That's yours?
No, that's the one I'm fighting at the moment.
All right, so it's going to make its way, like looping up and back down and around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. So the dragon is going to come and try to rake you. This is a bronze dragon.
Mm-hmm.
3 attacks, 1 bite. Is 28. Is that a natural 20? That's a natural 20. And then 20 and a 24.
24 will hit.
So the bite, which was the worst, is 32 damage.
Ow.
Tries to rip you out of the saddle. You're only lifted up by the harness and then has to let go because of momentum. It tries to hit you with one of the claws, misses. The last one rakes you for 12 slashing damage.
Ow.
That's a dragon. I mean, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Be glad that lightning bolt didn't hit you.
Yeah.
All right, so Kite. Kite is like screaming out, are you all right? Are you all right? And you see this through the roar of the wind that's passing you guys as it's moving. You see it like lift up in the air and it swoops past the rider, trying to claw at him the same way. Kite is a silver dragon. That's gold. Silver. A 19 hits. 16 misses, a 20 hits. So the bite is 17. 1 claw misses, the 3rd claw hits. So that's 30 damage against that rider. The rider is not doing great, but he's still up. So he like screams out, we can do this all day! Come on, just stop this foolishness! Clearly the King Priest is skewed! This isn't holy action! Rain is up.
All right. I'm going to give Rain a signal that we're going to try and help. We're going to try and help the others. The others. So we're going to come around like this.
Okay.
And we're going to pass him by like this so she can bite and claw as well.
Okay. You're trying to hit a 19 armor class.
I'm trying to hit a 19.
With a dragon, it's not so hard.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is.
Maybe it is really hard.
Oh my gosh! Oh, what's happening? Okay. No, not even that. Dang it.
She's really concerned about Kite, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, looking up and Samael is like openly, like blood is flowing out. He's like hurt.
Yeah.
Rain's worried about you, worried about the future of these guys. This guy is gonna pull his sword and just try to swipe at the dragon as it flies by. 13. I don't think that hits the dragon. Does 13 hit?
No. 17 is what you want.
So the second attack was 17. That's 8 damage.
8 damage.
Oh, no, plus 2 fire, unless it's resistant. So it's 8, 9, 10 total.
It's immune to fire.
Okay, so 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, so we're down. Rain's down to 102 hit points. Yeah.
Aw. Arjan, you're
I'm
up.
pretty sure these dragons will outlast us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna try and lance the rider on there. This might have been our problem from the beginning because he was like, hey, we need a flank, when we're in reality we should have been double teaming as much as we could. Anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, DragonLance. 21.
Nice. To hit the guy, you hit him.
Yeah, to hit the guy.
Like rakes at him, he pulls his sword out, tries to swipe. You like angle the lance around, jab into him. 19.
19, and then
he screams out.
Pushing attack.
Ooh, what is that?
He needs to give me a strength saving throw. DC 16. Okay, he's good. He does not get pushed out of his saddle, but he takes another 8 points of damage.
Okay. You see he's barely keeping his head conscious. It's sort of bobbing around. I typed that wrong. He's clearly hurt. Like that lance went right through him. That extra damage you just did to him really pushed him over the edge, and he is wounded and not in a good place. Samael is doing his best, like, ugh, kill this son of a bitch! Kill him! And you see him pull out his heavy crossbow, fires off at him, and it just goes wild.
Well, he's probably trying to not hit Rain, so.
This dragon rider's just screaming, "Get me in range, beast! Get me in range!"
Are you going to let him talk to you like that?
Alpenglow right here. This is hard to select each other when we're so close to each other.
Is
going to sweep up, fly upside down and around, like literally do a loop-to-loop over Samael.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to end up right about here, but the dragon's going to attack him. This is a gold dragon. Missed, and a natural 20 with a claw.
Ah, man.
So the last little claws he's going by just rakes him. You just hear the scream. What's the damage on that? 13, so that's 26. Oh, jeez.
Is he down?
Yeah, you see him just go limp in his saddle.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, he's just like laying down, and Kite is like calling out, "Samael! Samael! Samael!" You just, you see this roar echo out through the clouds. Brazen. So this guy flies over, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And it's going to do a breath weapon. Brazen is a bronze dragon.
Oh, he recharged it?
Well, he has 2 of them.
Oh, he has 2 of them. Okay.
So the repulsion breath exhales repulsion energy in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 40 feet away. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you're in that cone.
Okay.
And the dragon. So just give me a strength saving throw.
Okay. 24 for me, and for...
Oh, jeez.
And for Rain, it's 24.
24 is no problem. You just feel this force just push you guys a little bit, and you're just like sort of hunker down, and Rain pulls its wings in briefly and just goes right past, and the dragon lets out a massive roar behind you. Kite. Kite is infuriated.
He's pissed.
It flips over to here, flips around, and unleashes its breath weapon. "How dare you!" And just paralyzing breath just shoots out in a 30-foot cone. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It still hits him. And let's see. DC Constitution, 17. Which one is that? That's the gold dragon. There's a 17 Constitution he's got to make. Does not make it. His rider. Constitution, 17. Rolled a 1. Does not make it. So what happens here?
I believe...
Each creature in the area... repeat, it's paralyzed for 1 minute. A minute. So they just they're in their trajectory moving forward, and they just start plummeting openly. Just dropping super fast.
What's the falling speed in 5th edition? It's,
I mean, it's a full minute that both of them are paralyzed. So it's not its turn to fall yet, but you just see this mist go over it. It's barely outside of your range. And so that Dragon Rider doesn't do anything. He just sort of slumps in the saddle. Arjan, you're up.
Okay, well, the gold's probably gonzo, so probably, at least for a while. And then in that case...
a minute, they can hit the ground in a minute. 100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, in that case, I need to move so I can actually get there we go. So we kind of do this turn thing around here after he did his breath weapon, and we're just going to go fly straight past him. And she'll try and attack the rider as well.
Okay.
So bite, claw.
Hit, and missed.
Hit, and hit. So 27 points of damage to that rider.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, you bit onto him and ripped on with one claw, but he's holding onto the harness. He's just screaming, "No! Oh, the might of Paladine will protect me!" Wait, that was Arjan's turn.
Oh, whoops. Well, she hadn't gotten to move yet, so makes sense. And then for me, Lance, I guess, is the only viable thing I have right now. The DragonLance.
Oh, you need a 19. Ah!
I know. I'm gonna precision attack this. I got one left after this. 19.
Exactly what you need. All right. You stick it into him as you fly past him. The dragon rakes him at the same time. 21. Oh man, he is hurting. Blood's it rips through the flesh of his arm. He's like screaming out in pain, holding onto his arm, telling the dragon, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" All right, so Dragon Rider, he's gonna use one arm, try to lift up his heavy crossbow and fire it off. It's gonna be hard. He got a 22 to hit you.
That hits me.
7 plus 5 fire, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage total.
11 damage.
Wait, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can count.
Oh,
12 total.
Okay. Ow.
As the only time he's ever hit you. Strikes you after you almost kill him. Alpenglow is next, plummeting through the sky. It's now like at terminal velocity speed, dropping out of the air. Brazen is up. And Brazen's looking, he's like flying away. He's like yelling at it to get out of here. And the dragon's like, "But my brothers, they're attacking us." He's like, "If you want to live, we will leave." It's like, all right, let's go. And it just like does like a nosedive underneath, or it tries to get down to Alpenglow's location. It's trying to grab onto the rider or slow Alpenglow's speed as it's like getting down there close. So Kite's angry. He's going after him. He flies straight down on top. Let me see if he can regen his paralyzation breath, because he wants to do the same thing again. D6. Oh, nope. All right. Well, he can fly down on top of him and claw at the rider and bite him, so he's going to do that. Hits, misses, hits. So that's 30 damage. The rider screams as he's ripped back off of the harness and just falls down.
It's just free falling through the sky. Oh, man. What a fate.
Dying. Rain. You're up.
What does Rain actually think about this? Because, like, we've gotten rid of the riders.
Well, the dragons are leaving. Like, one is going to save the other. She didn't want to hurt the creatures in the first place. So if there's no riders telling them to attack, then she'd rather not attack them.
Okay, then we'll just... whoops. Let's get to Samuel. Where is he still on the saddle?
Yeah, he's strapped in, but
All right,
he's down.
Well, I've got a potion.
Oh.
And so, I don't think I can feed him a potion while we're riding on dragons.
No, you're gonna have to land.
Yeah.
He's stabilized though. His first roll. Well, no, it's 3 in a row.
It's 3 in a row, but
Okay.
yeah, we're not going to go terminal velocity, but we're going to at least follow them down at a safe speed.
So that dragon rider is paralyzed. Arjan, you're up. Anything you want to do?
Second wind.
Good choice. Alpenglow is paralyzed, dropping. Brazen's flying down. She like grabs onto him. She's trying to soften the blow that's ultimately going to hit. And Kite is just raging. He's going to try to recharge. It does! It's going to breathe its paralyzation breath at Brazen. So Brazen needs to do a DC 17 Constitution check. Brazen is the bronze dragon. Yes. Constitution. It barely made it. All right.
Okay.
So I mean, its rider is dead, so it's just sort of losing its mind right now, just acting out of rage. Rain.
Rain's going to keep descending down, but can she call out to Kite, shake him out of his rage?
Give me a persuasion check. What are you saying?
Oh, what am I saying? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. What's Kite saying or Rain saying? I mean,
think of your rider. He needs help, not vengeance.
Okay. 24. Yeah, you see Kite sort of shake his head a little bit, and he just like opens his wings, and the wind current just catches him. And he like lifts up past you as you're descending. You're right. Of course, you're right. Let's get to the ground quickly.
Yep. Let's go.
All right, so we disengage from combat. They land back down, and all around you, now that you're not actively battling, you're seeing other skirmishes actively happening all around in the sky. Dragons are plummeting, and riders are plummeting out of the sky. This is a bloodbath, and there's nothing good about it. First of all, this is the first time you've ever seen dragons actually fighting dragons. And really, arguably, the first time you're actually really up close seeing a dragon like from the back. And they're the same side. And they're killing each other. There's nothing happy or anything. This is just sad and it's just depressing all over everything. Oh, I didn't click on it, dang it. Just sorrow all around as you guys get down into the grove and land. And Kite sort of just like drops down on the ground looking back like, help him if you can.
I pull out the potion of healing and feed it to him.
As you sort of force it down his throat, nothing happens at first, but then his body starts spasming a little bit. You sort of unbuckle him out of the harness and drop him down, and he starts breathing a little bit more measured and normal.
Pull his breastplate loose so he can breathe easier.
You like undo the straps and sort of lift it up, and you just hear him. You see holes and dents all in there from all the rakes and scratches and teeth marks of the dragon that was attacking him. And his eyes open up. He looks at you. Thank you. Thank you so much. She was sent back here as a guardian angel. It must have been. I would have died without you. Without you riding Rain. Perhaps you are here from Paladine himself. But there's no hope. The city is falling. And as he says that, you sort of like, what? And you like look around because you're on like a stable ground.
Yeah.
But as you look around, you see the clouds moving actively above, and you see in the distance mountains moving into view.
Like the trees are starting to do this number.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're just like, oh shit, we are actually falling. Oh my gosh.
we need to get him back on the right. Get him back on the saddle.
It's like, I can't get myself on. And the dragon's like, don't worry, I've got you. And like scoops him up tenderly in his claw. And he leaps off of the city's ground into the air. And Rain looks over you. There's no time. And she just like grips onto you and lifts up. And you're just like, oh shit, nah! And you just, and like as your stomach drops down through your toes, and you see almost in slow motion as the city hits
a little too tight.
the ground. She's like, sorry! And just tears start coming out of her eyes as she's watching dragons actively falling out of the sky and the city crash into the ground, and just the smoke and like debris dust that starts slowly emanating up into the air, enveloping everything. And you're completely covered in this dust and dirt and decay. And you open your eyes, fighting through the sand and the rain, and you're laying on the altar in the Temple of Paladine, this completely destroyed and ruined. And you see water completely filling the temple in front of you off to your side.
There's still so much I wanted to say. I should have said it sooner. Okay, well, first off, okay, I'm not dreaming. Sven! Dunbar!
You're calling out, and it is echoing off the ruined Temple of Paladine walls, but it's silent. And then you hear this sort of crack-a-doom, like lightning that you heard before in aerial battle, but it's coming from outside in the distance.
Rush to the outside, yeah.
Actively now, like, I'm actually going to need to know your exact. Let me pull this out really quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to know specifically your path, because you wake up right here on the altar itself. Let me show everyone here watching. Can you see the altar?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So I just need to know your path that you're going to go. Let me paste in your character really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Where is Arjan? Right here. So you are right here. These guys are not here.
Yeah. Okay.
So it is nighttime.
Okay.
And everything is dark and dull, and you're standing once again back in your own time, looking down at this ruins.
I'm gonna look back at the altar and say thanks, and continue on my way. I do not trust how deep that thing can go.
Yeah, you also skirted the perimeter on the way in, so you know that that's a safe way out as well.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, so as you skirt your way on the outskirts, we can move this map.
Okay.
I just need to know exactly where you're going. And
Gotcha.
you come out and you see light emanating from the top of the threshold of the heavens, and the entire ground itself is rocketing as it's actually lifting up off of the ground momentarily, and then you see the entire city just sort of start crumbling in pieces, and you're sort of in the middle of like this massive earthquake as the city is being ripped apart. As you're just standing in it, dust and debris is flying back up in the air, and you almost think, oh shit, I was just here in the past. Now I'm here again in the future. And you see the threshold of the heavens dropping down out of the sky, falling down to the ground, and just dust and debris completely obscuring all of the sky. I need a dexterity check as you're seeing like the gravity itself being manipulated magically here.
I'm still the whole time travel thing still hasn't worn off.
So you're doing your best, but you like drop down on the ground. You just the rumbling of the earthquake, of all the different pieces of the city falling apart. You're doing your best. You know that due south, past that smoke cloud that just happened, is the entrance to this damned city. You also know that due east from you is the pathway of, I can't remember what it's called, pathway to heaven or something like that, where you originally came in and met Demlin. But which way do you want to go? You can't really see anything through the smoke and fog, so you've got like a 10-foot viewing distance here.
Okay. I don't think the party would have head back to Demlin. As smart as that would have been. What? Hang on. I had this. Okay. Find the party is number one. So I have a feeling they would have went towards that central area where the gateway to heaven just landed.
Yeah.
I hope they weren't in that.
Probably because of them.
It probably crashed because of them. So here's hoping they're still alive. So I'm going to make my way there. I'm going to find a rag, wrap it around my face.
Give me a perception check. See if you can find your direction sense in the dust and debris.
Sure. 15?
Yeah, you're pretty solid on the direction that you're headed. As you're going down, you're seeing gravity's affected. At some points, you're like lifted off the ground. You have to like grab onto debris and like broken statues and buildings and stuff to hold yourself down. And then instantly gravity drops out from underneath you and you come back down to the ground. This is a clearly difficult situation to find yourself in. And as you're moving south, all you're seeing is more thicker, blacker smoke. And the closer you get toward the threshold of the heavens, and you're hearing screams and cries from all around you, but you can't tell who or what it is. You know this was an occupied territory of the Dragon Army, so you could probably assume it's them.
Okay, the first building that looks like that is generally still like intact. We're gonna duck in there. I need to switch to a Dragon Army officer uniform, like right now.
Okay.
And they were wearing scale mail, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna put that in the inventory and then wear that.
Okay. So it'll take you about 10 minutes to strip off you actually still have the plate mail on you. With the divine hammer symbol that's all blackened, but it now has like scratch marks and holes in it from bites and stuff like that. So as you're like unbuckling and taking it off, and then you shimmy into the scale mill armor and sort of make sure all the straps are right, you're still hearing the sort of like apocalyptic sounds outside as just crushing buildings are like hitting the ground and stones are lifted on the ground, then drop down. The dust and debris is getting even denser and thicker. So as soon as you're done with that, I need another perception check to make sure you can continue to tell direction.
All right. Here's hoping I didn't get lost.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
You're 100% sure. You're like, nope, that is south. As you slowly start heading south, you're seeing bodies of draconians sort of bursting into acid, freezing into stone. You're seeing humans laying broken and bleeding in their last dying gasps reaching out to you. Help me! Ah! It's like blocks of earth just drop down onto them, crushing their heads like melons. I mean, you're doing everything you can. You're like making sure that you don't see anything directly above you, but you're only stumbling into these disparate scenes of just chaos as the entire city seems to be destroying itself all over again. And you're certain that you must have gotten to where the threshold of the heavens was, but there's nothing but this persistent cloud of smoke and dirt and grime in the air. And you just can't see anyone or anything.
Damn.
You start to hear cries coming from the southeast of you.
And even if there were in there, they'd be buried under tons of rock now. All right, let's head southeast then.
Right.
If there's alive people, that might be them. So.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Well, alive enough to scream anyway.
Yeah. Ah! I'm just scrolling to find my notes here. Right here. There it is. Okay. All right. So you come across this scene, which is pretty grotesque. So you see human men. They look like slaves, actually. They're not in Dragon Army uniforms or anything. And they're like sort of trying to lift this massive stone off of a guy that's still alive, that's just screaming. Like, I'm dying! I'm dying!
I move in to help.
Then they look at you and they sort of like stand back. Sir, I'm sorry, sir. We didn't mean to
Get
stop.
the rock off him! Stop!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please
Stop
help.
sniffling.
As you start to assist them in trying to get the block off, you hear screaming from behind you. And this is more of a familiar guttural draconic scream. So you were off here moving in to help them out. And you see a Dragon Army officer and you see a Seavac Draconian through all the chaos, all the smoke and cloud and debris, screaming out, "We're all going to hell, and you're coming with us!" So let's get some initiatives going.
All right. Of all the people to not get freaking squished by rock, these guys.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so the CVAC has initiative roll, which is nice, except I didn't open the doggone thing.
Oh, hey, it's still populated. It's okay, cool.
Arjan's good. The other ones need to get out of dodge. Oh, Arjan's twice. Which one did you roll recently?
17.
Okay. And the CVIC's there. Okay, so the Dragon Army officer's next, and there's his initiative. Perfect. And these engineers are not fighters. They won't be able to really do anything. Descending order. So Arjan, you see this CVAC Draconian and you see this Dragon Army officer sort of screaming at the engineers that are trying to unpin their friend as world around you is sort of collapsing. What do you do?
I tell the engineers to keep working, and I walk over to the CVAC and officer, and I tell them we don't have time. We don't have time to divide spoils. We need to get these people out of here.
Who are you? What are you doing here? This is our crew.
I'm ordering you around. Shut the hell up.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Here we go. Oh my god.
Natural 20. Okay. They both sort of look at you, like, look at each other, look back at you, look around like, yes, sir. What should we do? This whole city's falling apart.
Get this guy unpinned, and let's get out of here through the front.
Are you sure? He's just
Where
a
else
slave.
are you gonna go? The front. It's the only way out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, move over. Just these engineers are just like standing there dumbfounded. Like, why are you helping us? They like lift up this massive block. The engineer's pulled out from underneath. The CVAC grabs him up. You better live through this. And sort of like puts him over the shoulder. He's like, all right, let's get to the south entrance. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's not how I saw that encounter going. All right. Well played, sir.
That's why I put on the uniform.
Nicely done. So it takes you guys a while. You have no sort of semblance of time. There's nothing to really give you indication through all this mist and smoke. And even through part of it, you see some of the engineers like sort of like lift up because gravity is still sort of like all over the place. And you lose a couple engineers through the course of it. The Dragon Army officer dies. The CVAC is staying with you using his wings to sort of do his best to keep himself grounded following you. He's like, do you think we'll make it to Lord Soth's forces outside?
There's no other options. Don't think about other things that could happen. Think about what needs to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. He's like lifting this. Like, do we really need to carry this engineer?
We need everyone that's smart is going to be needed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You eventually make it out of the front gate, and all the dust and debris is behind you. The gravity normalizes as soon as you're sort of in the corridor to leave. And in front of you, you see something you've never seen before in your life. Swirling with cataclysmic fire, sort of that purplish electric fire that you saw with Lord Soth in the basement of the castle of Kalaman. You see this floating citadel with these undead dragons circling it in the distance, going down and picking up soldiers and bringing them up to the actual citadel itself. The CVAC looks over you like, we made it. We made it. The Dragon Army. And he starts moving toward it as fast as he can, sort of forgetting you. What do you do?
He's forgetting all about me?
Seems like it.
No one else is looking in my direction?
You don't see anyone else.
Fade into the darkness.
Fade to
Pretend
black.
I was never here. Just
So you skirt around to the side of the entrance of this destroyed city, into this northern wastes up here. And in the distance, this is nighttime right now. You can see the sun starting to come up. It's just barely lighting that eastern horizon line, but it's still pretty dark. And the shadow of the precipice that you're underneath, there's the plateau that you're under at the base of, is casting deep shadows and keeping you in darkness. In the far distance, on one side, on your eastern side, you see the floating citadel sort of moving toward another group, which clearly the banners, even from this distance, just from the coloring, look like Alliance forces. And it's so far in the distance, you know you can eventually make it there, but it's going to take you most of the late evening, early morning to get there if you want to head straight to the Alliance forces. What's your plan? What do you want to do?
do I know where the Alliance forces are at?
You can see the direction they're in, yeah, in the distance.
Okay. Let's go straight that way.
Okay.
I'm going to have one hell of a time to explain how I lost a party, a DragonLance, and a Fargab. But
Yeah, but you're alive. You made it.
made it, yeah.
Through time, through dragon fighting, you made it.
Made it. Okay, yep. Gonna make our way over to
So you're
party.
traveling, and it's not easy. This is freezing. You know,
Charm.
deserts at nighttime are just...
Got that charm still, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you're actually moving a lot faster than you had anticipated. You
Mhm.
almost even forgot about it until you started moving. You're like, oh, yeah. Now, right now, the tide is high. The wash is high. And so you're moving around the tops of the canyons and stuff. And you finally get within sight, like visible sight of soldiers fighting off Dragon Army troops. And you can see a contingent running away. It looks like there's one group that's staying off to try to let another group get away. You see the group getting away, and the troops like look over, just happen to look over and see you. And you're wearing Dragon Army uniform?
Well, yeah, I currently am. I forgot to switch over to my regular outfit.
So you see a soldier just turn to you, nudge his friend, and they both start charging towards
Green
you.
shield.
Ah!
Green shield.
You're like, wait. Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion check.
Come on. Don't get a 1.
12.
She's like, please stop. I got a great shield. Ibsen, great shield. And they sort of get close. What's your name? Why are you dressed like this then?
To get out of the lost city, Arjan Ghaleson.
Arjan? Arjan?
Yes,
sort of
special
come at you.
operative.
Come with us, quickly!
Okay, yeah, we're quickly going.
Like, turn around, they start running back. Eventually, you make it back to a command tent in this active battle scene, and you almost don't recognize Darrett Highwater. He looks like he's aged like 25 years. He is now a full Knight of Solamnia in his battle armor, standing there with his sword, and he like sort of looks off, and these other soldiers run up. It's Arjan! He's alive! I don't know how he survived, but he's alive! Look! And he turns to look at you, he's like, holy hell. Is it possible? I'm sorry, he's like, holy hell, is it possible? Are you alive? Is it you?
Yep, it's me.
Oh,
I
he
have
like
one
runs
hell of
up
a
and just embraces you. He sort of like holds you his heart tight.
Everyone else is really weirded out. Like, why is the commander hugging someone in a Dragon Army uniform?
I can't believe you're alive. We thought you were dead.
So did I.
Shit is hitting the fan. We sent in a second group of heroes. The first group were completely annihilated. The second group is already heading over to Dreadwolf Cove. We're trying to keep these damn Citadel forces staying off so they can escape to Kalaman and warn them. We've never seen anything like this. We don't have time for this, but I gotta know your story. I have to know what happened. Will you stay and fight with us, or do you need help? He's like sort of looking at your body.
I will stay and fight with you and tell you the entire tale.
Okay. So you guys successfully fight off the non-committed, to be fair,
it's like skirmish forces
of the Dragon Army.
Yeah.
They're actively transferring troops to the Flying Citadel so they can then use it to travel to wherever. Darrett assumes it's Kalaman.
I assume it's Kalaman.
Yeah. But Darrett hears your story and he's like, it strains credibility, but I know you, and so it must be true. What was it like being in the past? What was it like riding a dragon?
It was a reminder of all we lost, but it's a reminder of that there's always hope. So never lose it. There's always going to be hope, but there's always going to be bad things that happen. So holding on to the former is going to carry you through the latter.
I gotta tell you, you've always been such an inspiration to me personally as a soldier. And these are the exact words that I needed to hear. I was really down. Like this whole campaign has been so draining, and we've met with defeat after defeat, and you do bring hope.
That's what I try to do anyway.
If it's possible, is there a chance that I could send you to the other group of heroes to let them know that we did make this skirmish alive and we will be following them, but that they need to get to Kalaman as quickly as possible? Can you tell them that?
Yes, I can tell them that. I'll head that way.
Anything you need. I would suggest getting out of that outfit, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure all of our forces are going to know you for who you are.
Yeah, I need to get out of this uniform. I just need a new set of chainmail. I doubt we have plate to go around. Well, I already have a set of plate, but
we have fallen soldiers that we can repurpose their armor with if you need it.
We'll do that. And for you did great. I don't want anyone ever besmirching the knightly name of Darrett Highwater. You hear me? You did great. But right now your mission is to get everyone in this contingent that's left alive out of here. We lost too many good men to lose the rest of them.
Thank you. You're right. May Paladine bless you and watch your back.
And may Paladine bless you. Hey, I know Becklin's smiling right now. I know she is.
Puts his hand out, shakes you warmly. Good luck. And he turns around back to his soldiers. All right, so dawn is here. The temperature immediately goes from coldness of night to just overbearing heat, but you are blessed.
I'm gonna change out of the uniform. Might keep it though. Might be useful later.
It might be useful.
And then I'm just gonna catch like an hour power nap, and then we're gonna go to the heroes.
Nice. As you're traveling off,
hang on. And then, like, after he gets dressed and, like, he wakes up from his nap, something clicks in his mind, and he checks for the dice. Because last time he put him around Rain's neck.
Right.
And it's like, would she still have them?
You do not see your dice.
There's hope.
Nice. I like that a lot. Okay, so ultimately, you're traveling after them. You know you're at least a few hours behind, but you are fast with your charm that you earned. And when you're taking a quick break, just sort of out of breath in the shade of the heat of this sun, and the wash is starting to go down, you know you can catch up with them by nightfall. You're certain of it. You actually see this figure of a red-robed wizard appear before you. He's like, Arjan, are you Arjan?
Yes. Is this Dalamar or Demlin?
No.
Okay. It's neither. Oh, it's neither of them. Okay,
no.
Cool.
Yeah. She looks at you. She's like, I was sent by Darrett Highwater. I'm Commander Thea. Look, Lord Soth, he's surrounded all of the remaining Alliance forces in this shroud of darkness. We can't see anything. The wounded soldiers are coming back undead under his control. I need you to reach out to the heroes. We need them to come back and fight off Lord Soth's forces so that we can get the army back. It will only be a short campaign at best, but we need them. Can you run and grab them?
I can. Well, I'll bring them back here as soon as I can.
Thank you very much. We're just a few hours due east of you right now.
Due east. Got it.
She just whispers a spidery word of magic and just disappears into nothing. You look to your west.
Hate mages. I fucking hate mages. Okay. I'm gonna go to the party so we can rescue more of our dudes.
You move with a renewed purpose, and you can see in the distance their camp that they're setting up for the night, and that is where we're going to leave this adventure. Man, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Thanks so much for coming on back. First of all, for rejoining the campaign. I'm super stoked to have you back.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I'm really glad. I feel like we pulled off some interesting storytelling here. I love the back and forth. You really dive in whenever you're role playing and stuff. So you have inspiration for the beginning of next campaign, or I'm sorry, for next session, which is tomorrow night.
Yep.
For those of you watching. So I hope you'll all tune in to that as well. And I hope you enjoyed this. But that is it for this one-shot interlude of our Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen live play. I'd like to thank Curtis for joining me and making this a very entertaining session. I really do appreciate you, man. And
I appreciate you.
I'd like to ask everyone watching, what did you guys think of this interlude? Do you like the sort of time travel tropes that is so prevalent in Dragonlance? Is it too much for an intimate little campaign like this? Your brutal honesty is always appreciated by me, so let me know in the comments below. You can also email me at info@dlsaga.com. And remember that this channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of the Dragonlance Saga. Thank you so much for joining in that celebration. Each of these 5th edition campaign episodes is a basic fundraiser for some form of a nonprofit organization that supports U.S. soldiers. If you care about it, if you're capable, if you can, consider donating to them. They get all of the funds. I don't see any of it. So please always keep that in mind. And these are just for fun and for us to enjoy good company and good storytelling. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. So until next time, Slanjavar.